Good afternoon. It's 3:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. In NFL news today, the Baltimore Ravens signed former Packers All-Pro cornerback Jair Alexander, who was released last week, to a one-year deal worth $4 million, where he can earn an extra $2 million in incentives. Alexander's only played 14 games over the last 2 seasons, but now gets a fresh start in Baltimore. The 2026 SEC basketball schedule has been released for the Vols. They will host Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas A&M in Knoxville. They will go on the road to Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, Missouri, and South Carolina. Alabama, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt will be a home and home for the Vols. The College World Series semifinals began today as only 4 teams remain. Coastal Carolina currently up 6-0 on Louisville in the 5th inning. Arkansas plays LSU at 6 p.m. For our foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Welcome in. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. What is Wednesday around here? There he is. He's Ronald Sylvester Slay. He's in the house. And the building.
There we go.
All of those things.
Beat me to it.
Slay Dog, what's happening?
Man, I am good, man. Shout out to my guy Rob over there at Rob and William over there at J. Alexander's on Whitebridge Road.
Shout outs presented by your mom and him.
Yeah, man. It took care of your boy today, man. So salute
over
to y'all.
J. Alexander's?
Man, dude, open up the doors and everything.
Well,
they say he's in the
little,
building. I see. I am in the building.
You get a little Cypress salad over there?
No, I went with my own concoction.
Oh,
boy.
Slay's own chicken Caesar salad.
Caesar?
Okay.
Yeah,
I've never known you to go.
Nah, this was just, I was just trying to get something in my belly. On this one right here.
Get in my belly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then try to be a little slick, little baby healthy. Just a little bit. So, yeah.
Little baby healthy.
And then I had a cold-blooded Shirley Temple. They make some cold Shirley Temples over there, though.
Him and his Shirley Temple.
Them
know, right?
bad boys
The
is
weirdest
good.
thing.
Well, how is like a Shirley Temple better one place than the other? Like
Depends who's making it.
It's
Right.
Sprite and Grenadine,
Depends.
right?
It's the
No,
same
see?
thing.
That's where they get y'all food. Y'all go accept anything. I'm not just accepting anything.
You know what? Baby Babs can join you for your
That's
Shirley
my girl.
Temple next time.
Let's sit at the big girl's table.
Whose voice is that we hear over
It's
there?
back!
I'm back. I'm back, witches.
I think I tweeted, or not tweeted, I texted the group at like 6:55 or something, welcome back, Babsy, and I mean right on top of it, she's like, I'm back, witches, with a bunch of exclamation point, although she didn't say witches. But that's a clear indication that you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
So
Miss you, Babsy.
how you feeling coming off your Vegas deal?
I don't think I've ever been on a 4-day bender like that ever. Ever.
That's a good spot to be in.
It's amazing I'm alive. It's amazing I'm alive. And happy 40th birthday to my girl Case.
Hey,
which is why
yes.
we went.
Happy birthday, Casey.
Happy birthday, Casey. Listen, that was like adults with no kids out in the wild in Vegas.
And y'all lived up to it, huh?
I sent y'all
Y'all
a
were
video.
like high rolling too. Like, I mean,
Well,
cabanas and Kenny
We
Chesney at the
thought we
Sphere.
were, yeah. I know.
we were.
I'm gonna need you guys to probably be around for when I have the heart attack for when the credit card bill comes next month because
Now, count it up, Babs.
Well, you won $400 in penny slots.
I did.
Run it up.
Did I give it back? I did.
Yeah,
That's
but you
how
said
you
it
do
took 2 hours. So, I mean, that's worth it. 2 hours, that's a lengthy amount of time to go through $400 in Vegas.
Guess what?
What?
We hit on roulette.
Yeah?
Black 35, Ron
I told him,
Slay.
let's go, baby.
Do you know how many
Let's go.
times? So Case and I bet it every single time.
Love it.
Every time you pass the roulette table, you hit
Black
black 35.
35.
Yeah, well, we know about 2. We know about 2 wins. What's the number?
Black 35.
Yeah. How many times did you win?
5.
That's my girl.
How about that?
5.
my girl.
And every time.
Told him.
Now you got to understand they just like give you drinks at this place, right? So
Well, yeah, that's what keeps you there.
so every time we
Part of
hit
the
it,
trick.
the entire casino would turn around and look at us because we'd be like, Ron Slay in the building! Black 35 won! Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Babs. And that's all I ask. That's all I ask. Bring the energy.
I'm like, if they didn't know who Ron Slay was, they did
now.
after we hit Black 35.
They're going to be looking for him now.
He's some guy with the Black 35.
So, do you know what other number we bet all the time and never hit it until finally once?
34.
But every time 34, but it never hit. My number never hit. Not once in 4 days. Black 8. I don't know where Black 8 came from.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba.
But
what it was?
No, Will Levis.
Oh,
no.
Yep.
It never hit?
No, it hit once. That's right, Will. So at the end of the Vegas trip, I'm like, we're done with Will Levis. Never again. Black 8 is the nemesis.
Poor Levis, man. He's just rolling around.
Just catching strays.
He's like going to, hey, I'm going to go get a salad, turn on 145 The Zone, and just get blasted.
Sorry, Levis. Yeah, so Mr. Babs, like, one night was like, let's go, Will Levis. Here we go, Black 8. Like, everybody on the table was on Black 8, right?
Yeah.
Everybody.
And guess what?
And one guy goes, who the hell is Will Levis?
That's what I'm saying. That's why he just go with Slay. Slay sounds cooler anyway. It's like, who is he? Whoever it is, it sounds cool.
I said, don't worry. He's about to be a backup quarterback for a different team, not the Titans.
Dang,
Wait till
Babsy.
after the preseason.
See, and I guess what? I bet the blue ball probably jumped in the 8 and then jumped out of it.
3 times.
I guarantee I know.
3 times.
That's Will Levis.
I mean,
that's him. It's unpredictable.
It was like the epitome of Will Levis.
Yeah, see? I know exactly what's going on. Can't fool me. I know exactly what's going on.
Sorry, Will. And then I was like, okay, how about we make it Marcus Mariota? Like, yeah Marcus Mariota. And that's when it hit.
Good guy. Mm-hmm. Put him in the good guy
That's
contest.
where the good contest comes in?
I guess so.
Good guy contest?
Yeah, when you try to play opposite of it.
I mean, when you're, in Sin City, good guy wins.
Yeah, that's the good guys win.
So I missed you guys. It's good to be back.
We missed you, Babsy.
I'm still recovering, so if I say something dumb, sorry.
It'll be okay. We charge it too.
Well,
charge it to Vegas.
There are other things that are going on. So, we're about to get hydrated.
Absolutely.
MedicalHouseCalls.com. That's the website. Medical House Calls in the studio. We're about to get IVs, y'all.
Hey.
In the studio during the show.
The show.
Perfect. Now listen, like this is, they're giving us IVs with like immune support and things to help inflammation, like all the things that everybody needs. But I do have to say that it's perfect timing right after I come back from a 4-day bender from Vegas that we're getting an IV in the studio.
Right.
I'm just saying.
So athletic needs, these guys can help you with it. Recovery, immune boosting IVs.
Yes.
If you're feeling down, maybe you're trying to get over a cold or something, they can get you back to being your best self. MedicalHouseCalls.com. And we're going to get IVs while we're doing the show. So, at 3:20, we're going to talk Titans football. Justin Mello, Titansize.com, came up with a 53-man roster for the Titans right now, as of right now, in his opinion.
He admitted it was the way too early.
Way too early. Like for example, he only has 3 tight ends. You know they're going with more than 3 tight ends.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
No.
They went with 5 last year.
Yeah, but they ain't have no wide receiver room like this, though, either.
Practice
It's also a different front office.
That's true. All of those things are true. And we can discuss it with Justin
Not
at 3:20
to mention,
while we're getting our IV.
I felt like they went with that many tight ends because they were going to actually do something and utilize the tight end position like the Titans have not done in a while. And then they didn't.
I'm with you. And they're probably going to work through a game plan and build up short yardage, and then boom. But we couldn't build up because the ball was going to the other team.
Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford, coming up at 4 o'clock. Todd Furman, Bet the Board podcast at 4:20. We'll talk about the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
not going past Game 6, right? You've been calling Game 6.
I keep on saying it. Told you last night, Florida, too.
I went with Florida.
Good job, Yor.
That was a no-doubter.
Your listening skills been up.
You know what else I did?
What?
I went against Mr. Morning Show producer and went under the 6.5.
And won.
And won.
And won. That's it. See, I'm gonna save it till Friday.
Slay, you called that one.
I'm gonna light them up. I'm gonna light them up Friday. That's what I'm telling you. That's why you don't listen to little amateurs. You got real gamblers out here. You got guys in between, and then you got guys that ain't even supposed to be gambling. They just think they get on a little run. That's what we call in the gambling world hot streak. That's it, son. Like, you don't belong in this land, I'm telling you. Because as soon as you start bragging, I tell Slay,
that's
call
why
me
I
when
went
they
under,
hit 5.
because he was
Come
bragging.
on, dog. You don't do that.
He said 5 in a row. I go, I'm going under.
You ain't earned enough. I'm telling
Florida
you.
and Edmonton, they tried to get there.
They did try to get
They
there.
just started piling goals in at the
taking
end of
out
the game.
goalies and everything. They was like, what?
Wait,
Yeah.
which one are you of those three?
Yeah, Babs, see, I'm more entertaining
I've
guy
missed this,
towards the far end of the spectrum of the entertainment
you gotta
side.
understand, like, Slay is the biggest, most knowledgeable hockey betting expert in Nashville. So.
Yeah, man. What happened, Babsy, Jayhawk was challenging me.
See what happened.
Yeah, well, he was challenging me, and he was wrong for challenging me. I don't know what made him decide to do that, but when he did it, now all his little winnings.
Yeah. Once he started talking smack, I was like, you're going in the lost column, man.
Left alone.
You come at the king, you best not miss.
Miss. You better believe
Look
it,
at
Zephyr.
Zeph.
That's right,
just
Zephyr.
freaking
That's
poking
almost
That's
a
right,
line
Zephyr.
from
Over
Usual
there.
Suspects, except replace king with the devil.
And the wire, too.
You take a shot at the devil, you better not miss.
I use it a lot.
But king fits this situation better.
Or the wire.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to get stuck, and we're going to talk to Justin Mello about his 53-man roster. All that's coming up as we take IVs today during 3HL. MedicalHouseCalls.com. Check them out. We'll be right back. 104.5 The Zone.
All right, I want to tell you about Xfinity. Comcast, change is always happening. It's a part of life. And when it comes to music, changes all around us. You got songs rewritten, classics remixed, bands and artists come and go. Our taste in music changes. But no matter how things change in 5 years, 5 years, that's a long time. There's one thing that is going to stay the same, and that would be the price of your internet from Xfinity. Xfinity introducing a 5-year price guarantee. I've never heard of anything like this, but it means you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Are you surprised? Well, life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, all of it guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report August 2024.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. Executive producer of 3HL is Zeph Dog.
What's up?
What up, Zephyr?
We are in the process of getting IVs, y'all. So we just did our vital signs, everything looking good so far. Now they're doing Babsy. I don't know what's going on over there.
I don't know, but I'm like, what was that number? What's this number? What's my heart rate? What's my oxygen level? Ooh, I'm only at 96.
I'm surprised Babsy don't already know all of this.
Yeah,
I do. I carry one of these in my bag.
I told her about your bag because she's got but Chelsea has the nurse practitioner here, Chelsea, has a backpack just like yours.
Yeah.
It's sitting right over there.
Listen, we can save the world.
One
Something
tweezer
happens.
at a time.
That's right.
So, yeah, she's going to vital signs. Then she's going to stick us. And we're going to feel incredible here in a little bit. MedicalHouseCalls.com. Medical House Calls in the studio. Stu Jones, the founder of Medical House Calls, is here. Chelsea, the nurse practitioner, is here. Great for athletes, obviously. Immune-boosting IVs. Get back to being your best self.
Mm-hmm.
Great for mamas who don't want to go to the pediatrician or the urgent care because they come to you. Wish I would have known that about 3 months ago, and then 2 months ago, and then a month ago.
Yeah, like your whole life.
Right.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to talk about the Titans. So you know us. If you've tuned into 3HL for any amount of time, you understand that we can multitask around here. So that's what we're going to do. Justin Mello joins us now. Justin has let's start with this, the Titans of the South. Justin, you've got a 2025 edition of the book.
I do, yes, correct. So we released the book last year, Titans of the South, which covers the history of the franchise dating back to 1960. So starting with the Houston Oilers up until 2024. Now we've got an updated version, limited quantities available of a 2025 iteration of the book, which has got a new chapter that covers the most recent season and the offseason, the process of drafting Cam Ward. And with each purchase, we're giving away a free Titans Illustrated player trading card. So that's been a big hit. At TitansOfTheSouth.com, where you can get the updated version. It's $20 right now, free shipping included. So now, again, it covers from 1960 through 2025, entire history, dating back to the Houston Oilers, season-by-season breakdowns, full-color photography. People are really loving that player illustrated trading card we're giving away with every purchase. So limited quantities available now at TitansOfTheSouth.com.
Good stuff. I like it.
All right, Justin, just advance notice here. We're going to be getting IVs done while we talk with you, so we're going to kind of bounce around here. But anyway, yeah, the book is so cool, and man, I love all the old Oilers stuff because I grew up an Oilers fan, and those pictures from back in the day are just incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really a pleasure to put together and really excited. When we released it, we didn't know they were going to have the number one pick in the following draft. So that's the big reason why we've decided to release this updated version of it, if you will, because it's a shame to kind of cover the entire history and then have just missed out on the only time ever that they select a quarterback number one overall.
Right.
So we've got 1,000 copies available of this new version, and we've already sold through about 20-25% of our quantity of that. So, and we just announced it about a week ago. So really excited to have that available to people to really, update you on what's gone on this last off season or so.
Good stuff. Okay, so the 53-man roster conversation, I mean, it's June 18th, right? Like, Justin, what are we doing here?
Correct. Yeah, you've got to be a bit of a psycho, and I think I am a bit of a psycho to kind of entertain. I thought with minicamp officially in the books, it was a good time to take a way too early look. Keyword, way too early. Might as well, right? We're in the dead of the off season, so I'll admit I had more fun with that exercise than I thought I would. So it's up now on TitanSize.com. My way too early 53-man roster projection. It was fun to put together.
Justin Mello with us on 3HL. He's got the TitanSize.com early look at the 53.
I will say this before we jump into it. Like, how much do you think your 53 changed just from the ability to sit there and watch minicamp?
Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. I would say those last 3 or 4 spots on the roster might have, played a bit of a role. But some of the convictions that I stand by, that I make in the article regarding like a Will Levis and Traylon Burke, some of the bigger decisions that they have ahead of them. Minicamp did not change my opinion on what's going to happen there.
Okay, I gotcha.
By the way, quick update. Our guy Jesse James from 103.3 Mornings is in studio too. Zeph, you want to turn his microphone on real quick?
I'm going to tell you, am I out? Are we good?
There you are.
All right, there we are. I love these guys, man. These IVs, these are the bomb. I got some friends coming to town for my wife's birthday, so I'm getting ahead of the game.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So Monday I'll be good to go.
MedicalHouseCalls.com. She's about to stick me. Right now, Chelsea's going to stick
That's
me.
not even the first time he said that today, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I golfed with him once. I get it, man. I know.
Yeah, we did
that's
play golf.
right. You guys
we were all
did.
over the course.
All right.
We played the whole course.
Yeah, we did. We see everything. Justin, so let's start with quarterback. You've got two quarterbacks on your list, and Will Levis's name is not on that list. Why?
I find it hard to believe that we live in a world where Will Levis is going to be on the Titans roster come September. I mean,
I'm with you.
We tend to overthink these things, right? Like, they've made the decision to move on. They took a quarterback at number 1 overall. And I got a lot of people in my mention saying, well, he's a better quarterback than Brandon Allen. It's not that simple. Yes, He's a better quarterback than Brandon Allen, but there's a human being element to this. I mean, you heard at one point, Will Levis flat out said at minicamp, it sucks. That's what he said about the situation that he finds. And it does suck from his perspective, right? Like, everybody knows they've made the decision to move on from him. I'll ask you this. When the Arizona Cardinals made the decision to draft Kyler Murray, did they keep Josh Rosen on the roster? Just not the way it works in the National Football League. So they're going to go through the motions. They're going to say all the right things. I imagine at some point they're going to get an offer for Will Levis that makes sense for them to accept. He wants a fresh start more than likely. They'll want to give him a fresh start. I don't think he's going to be on this team in 2025.
Okay.
Anybody have a problem with that?
I kind of do.
So his quarterback position on the 53.
Don't look at me like that.
After Vegas,
Cam Ward, Brandon Allen are his two quarterbacks on the 53.
I mean, just from a simple fact that Will Levis is a better backup than Brandon Allen, and with Cam Ward, the way he plays, the offensive line I know is better, but still, I mean, I just think this franchise is probably going to need their backup quarterback a game.
Real quick update. Jesse has the broken pink headphones that Babs used to have.
All right, okay.
It looks good.
That's all right. That's all right.
It looks good.
Hey, there.
Am I over here?
When they made the decision,
Okay. All right.
By the way, she just stuck me. Perfect. Chelsea, great job.
Yeah.
I didn't
Lucky
feel it.
you.
Let me
All
say
right,
this real
Mello,
quick.
hold on, because
I want
what
to
I
get on
just
that.
said about Will Levis is a better backup.
Can I respond
I
to that
don't think
before
it's
Mel?
that simple. Yeah, I don't
I
think
know
it's
you
that simple.
said it's not that simple, but
Thank you, Mello.
why? Why not?
Because there's a human being element at play. And I think that, and first, when they brought in Brandon Allen, by the way, they were already very confident they were drafting Cam Ward at number 1 overall, because that decision was made prior to free agency opening, right? That's why they brought him in for the pre-draft visit prior to free agency. So when they go get Brandon Allen, in my opinion, that was a concentrated effort to say, hey, here's a quarterback who has played for Brian Callahan before. He knows the system. This is the type of veteran quarterback that we're going to have come in. There's not going to be any distractions because we don't want any of that when we're bringing in a number 1 overall pick. And he's the ideal guy. He is exactly what front offices look for, where he's not going to create a stir. No one's going to be calling for him to play. And he's also going to teach my young quarterback the offense because he's played in it before. I think that decision was made knowing in fact, that they'd be drafting Cam Ward and that Will Levis would not be. Or heck, they brought in a 4th quarterback in Tim Boyle later in free. They got another guy on the veteran guy on the roster. Will Levis is better than both of them, no doubt about it. But again, who was Kyler Murray's backup in year 1? A quarterback that didn't have the pedigree that Josh Rosen did. But once you've made that decision to move on from a young quarterback, you move on and you cut ties completely.
And Mello, tell me if I'm wrong with thinking this way. For you too, Babsy. Does anybody think that at any point in the next 8 to 10 years, that Brandon Allen will be trying to go get a starting job, or will he be comfortable in the spot?
He's 30 years old. He's comfortable in the spot that he's in now.
Okay, so with that being said, I think it's going to be a challenge every single day for Will Levis to understand that, man, I want a starting job, a starting role in this. So my thing is, Titans, don't stunt his growth. Go let him be great somewhere else. Like, this is no need to have him in the locker room trying to challenge this young man day in and day out when he's learning the system and growing with guys and then have people side-eyeing.
I'm 100% on board with you. That's the way it works in the National Football League. Most teams don't want a backup quarterback when you got a young guy in there that's going to be challenged, especially a number 1 overall pick, right? He's got a long leash. He hasn't played yet. They don't want a backup quarterback that's causing distractions and creating headlines. Will Levis wants no part of this situation. Why would he? He wants to go somewhere else and get the fresh start that he deserves. And don't think the last year hasn't been incredibly taxing on him and his family, because it has been. And look, it comes with the territory. No one necessarily feels sorry for him. He knows the business he got himself into.
Right.
But certainly a fresh start is warranted for all parties involved. I don't believe the Titans will prevent him from getting that fresh start that he wants.
Agreed.
All right, let's go.
Babsy.
Let's go to running back. Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears, no doubt. Then you've got Khalil Mullings, the draft pick, or Chestnut. And you make an interesting point about Mullings being a special teams utilized guy because he used to play linebacker. That's a great point.
Correct. Yeah, I think last year, they'll learn from the mistake they made last year. They kept Chestnut over Hassan Haskins. Hassan Haskins was the better special teams player. They kept Chestnut because he was the better running back. I said this when it happened. You're not going to need Chestnut at running back, but you are going to need someone that can play special teams, and they didn't have that, right? That's why they were one of the worst special teams units in the NFL last season. So to me, number one, now that you've drafted Mullings, certainly he's got a better chance than, say, Hassan Haskins did last year. You're going to lean towards the draft pick, the 6th-round rookie. And, yes, it's going to help that he played some linebacker, prior to making the transition to running back. Chestnut was not good on special teams last year. That's why they were as bad, partially why they were as bad as they were. And certainly Mullings is going to give them more upside at running back, quite frankly, and certainly is the better special teams player. At least he projects that way.
Wide receiver.
There we go.
That is what I want to talk about, because we've already had a million discussions. How many do they keep?
I wish I wasn't on crutches. I'll go get my Burke jersey right now at the truck.
Okay, well, guess what? Burks ain't on this list, Slay. So, but he'll probably start.
Did I give you a number to win with
anyway.
in Vegas? Did I give you a number to win with?
Yeah, and it wasn't Burks. Anyway, you have in this way too early 53, Mello, you have them keeping 7 wide receivers and Restrepo being one of them.
Yeah, it's certainly a big number. That's going to be the question all off season long. Do they keep 6 or 7? I think they're keeping a minimum of 6. Restrepo did what he was going to do at OTA's minicamp. I can't believe that we track these things, but he led the receivers in receptions at minicamp with 13. He was as advertised, right? He gets open, he catches the football. He's a QB-friendly target. Now, there are some things working against him that we have to acknowledge. We don't know if he can play special teams or not. That was not one of his calling cards at Miami. He talked about that a little bit. Of course, he said he's willing. John Bones Fossil, the special teams coordinator, says he could see him doing it. But again, projection versus actually doing it, we'll see. One of the, two of the things he has working in his favor, in my opinion, of course, we know the chemistry with Cam Ward is there. But one of the underrated aspects of it is, yes, he's a slot-only receiver. They've got Tyler Lockett in that position. He's a one-year Band-Aid solution, right? Tyler Lockett's on a one-year deal. He's 33 years old. Perhaps they see Xavier Restrepo sort of being the succession plan to that position. I don't think you would want to risk, cutting him and potentially losing him. He could get offers elsewhere to go to another 53 more lucrative options. So ultimately, I do think they keep him around. I've also got Bryce Oliver on this list. He had a big final practice at OTAs there, caught a mini camp, caught a couple of touchdowns. But the main reason I did keep Oliver wasn't just that. He's really good on special teams last year. Yeah. And we know the way that they kept this roster together last year. was to the detriment of special teams. They're going to have to make better decisions in that area this year, and a veteran guy like Mike Borgonzi will certainly help them do that. So I've got Bryce Oliver on the list. I've got Van Jefferson, who they signed in free agency. Who I don't have is Traylon Burks. That was probably the big omission right next to Will Levis. I don't think Traylon Burks is on the 2025 Titans.
Now, you think it's a cut situation? You think it's a trade? You think he's injured?
I think it's a cut or a trade situation, either one. Maybe they get an offer. Again, I think they would take almost anything at this point, to be honest with you. But if it's not a trade, it could be a cut. I just don't see. I look at the X spot specifically, right? You try to break up these receiver positions into the three different spots, X, Z, and slot. And I look at X, they've got Alec Iomanner, who can play on the boundary there. Of course, he makes the roster as their rookie fourth-rounder. They signed Van Jefferson in free agency. No, I don't think he's a 100% lock. I do think it probably comes down to him or Traylon Burks, not and Traylon Burks. And the fact that Jefferson is healthy right now, he's made a good impression on the team both at minicamp and OTAs. Traylon Burks still getting past the ACL. Isn't it crazy that he's entering his fourth season, Traylon Burks? This Titans GM, he's two GMs removed from the guy who decided to draft Traylon Burks. So Mike Borgonzi is so far removed from that Traylon Burks decision. It's obviously blown up in the organization's face. No, I don't think Traylon Burks makes the team. I think they're happy to move on.
So, you okay?
Martin Luther King once said,
Oh, here we go. Oh, jeez.
that
I'm sorry, Mello.
we shall all rise as one. And if you put a 6 on the end of that, he was talking about Traylon Burks. So, yes, my faith still lies in Traylon Burks. The man just said, man, I'm leaning on God and the people that are with me. And I'm one of them people that are with him, Mello. I'm telling you. Now, quit laughing, Mello. Ain't nothing funny about this no more. Like, it's serious. Traylon Burks will fly once again, people. It will fly once again. And I'm off my soapbox.
Top tier said, don't kill Ron Slay's dream.
Hey, man, I'm telling y'all going to be surprised.
I almost want him to just be gone so that Slay can let it go.
Lady, no.
Move on.
What?
Yeah.
No, ain't nobody moving on.
It's like a bad relationship that you
this is
just
a great
keep going
relationship.
back to.
Hey, listen, Anna Mae Bullock turned into Tina Turner.
Oh,
She would have
jeez.
never became that if she didn't keep going back to Ike. I'm going back to Traylon Burks. I'm going to be a champion one day.
Who's who in this scenario?
It don't even matter.
I don't know.
Greatness is in both.
Can we move to the offensive line?
No, we didn't do tight end.
Who cares?
All right.
I want the O-line too, but go ahead.
Quickly on tight end, you've got Chig, Josh Wiley, Gunnar Helm. That's it. Just 3. They kept 5 last year. You think just 3?
I was annoyed by last year's keeping of 5 and then not utilizing them at all.
Well, again, lessons learned, right? I mean, they kept David Martin Robinson last year because they thought they were keeping the best 53. They didn't have the right 53. He was a healthy scratch almost every single week, contributed nothing on special teams. They need that roster spot for someone that can play special teams. Very straightforward at tight end. They got 3 NFL caliber players.
There you
All
go.
right. Moving to the offensive line, Babs.
Yeah, so I don't even know what to bring up on this conversation, but obviously depth is a concern, right? How do you feel about it when you put together your 53?
Well, I feel good about the depth on the interior because you've got Corey Levin there, who Brian Callahan was filled with praise with the other day, by the way. Saying his praise is big time for how he's operated the offense with Lloyd Cushenberry. He's still recovering. You've got Jackson Slater also there on the interior, rookie, a 5th-round pick who's going to be perhaps a succession plan, either at guard or center. But they're both surefire members of this 53. Where I really struggled, where I think they lack depth completely, is that depth tackle, right?
Yeah.
That backup tackle, that swing spot is a big-time concern. I think Blake Hance is capable of playing it. They brought him in free agency. He played with Bill Callahan in Cleveland once upon a time. They've got a couple holdovers, Jalen Duncan, John Njoku. They've showed nothing throughout 2 years, essentially. I think Blake Hance, and he's also got some versatility, by the way, can play the interior. That makes him a good fit. I ended up keeping 9. My 9th, I said in the final sentence, pick your poison. I went with Andrew Rupsich. I could have drawn a name out of a hat. Maybe it's a Jalen Duncan. Maybe it's a John Njoku. Maybe it's an Eli Udu who they signed in free agency this offseason. More than likely, it's a waiver claim. That is a prime spot for them to go out and get someone that another team cuts that's probably a little bit better than what they currently have.
Justin, can you do another segment after the break, and we'll go through the defense?
Absolutely.
All right, there he is, Justin Mello. Check out the book, Titans of the South, 2025 edition. Justin Mello with TitansEyes.com. Took a stab at the very early Titans 53-man roster. Everybody good with the IV thing?
Oh yeah, I was more concerned about finally having some veteran leadership on the O-line. What kind of value do we get in that?
You didn't worry about getting stabbed.
Oh no, what?
Yeah. Jesse, you good?
This is great, man. I love these guys. Awesome. They'll come right to your place.
That's right. Babsy, you're getting stuck right now?
I know. Okay.
Look over here. Look over here.
Yeah.
Mama can't look.
You can't even feel it.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll keep talking about Traylon Burks to you during the break. All right, we'll be back again. MedicalHouseCalls.com, the website. We're all getting IVs and energy-boosting IVs. And we'll be back with more Titans Talk next, 3HL. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, Jesse James from 103.3.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Zeph Dog. When do you start? 23rd?
Monday.
There you go.
Monday morning. Monday morning. Going to be
103.3.
the pandemonium. Organized chaos.
We do that every day. You'll fit in really well here. Medical House Calls in the building. Stu Jones, founder of Medical House Calls, is in with us in studio. Stu, thanks for coming in, man.
Our pleasure. Absolutely. We're happy to be here.
Chelsea's great at sticking people.
Yeah,
She's phenomenal.
Absolutely. We have an amazing team, and she watched a great YouTube video last night.
We'll leave the light on for you.
There you go.
So energy-boosting IVs, I can already feel kind of an uptick in myself.
Absolutely. These IVs give you a maximum amount of vitamin C, B12, B-complex, glutathione, zinc, and magnesium.
Perfect for athletes?
Perfect for athletes. If you're ill, we can add additional ingredients to the cocktails, we would say, to get you feeling better faster as well.
Well, we appreciate you being in here. MedicalHouseCalls.com, and you can go visit people where they are.
Absolutely. We go in the home, in the office, and same-day appointments.
Love it. Thank you for being here. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
All right. I'm a client. Just want to throw that out there. I was feeling like trash because we transparent always on this show, and I didn't know if I was going to make it to SEC network that day on Saturday. And, man, they came right away, got me in, got me out Friday, and I made it through the show. I don't know how I did it, but, man, Medical House.
That's outstanding.
I'm telling you, like, I felt like trash. Like the stuff outside where you take the recycle center trash, not just the regular trash you put outside your house.
Like with the juice coming out of the
that was
bag
me.
and everything?
I was coming up out of the bag.
You're the blue can.
Bingo. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, it's superhero medicine in this, y'all. I'm telling you.
I love it. All right, let's get back with Justin. We're going through the very early Titans 53 that Justin Mello came out with on TitansSize.com. Let's hit the defense real fast, Justin. Edge rusher. Man, they got to find a way to get some sacks going, man. Arden Key, you've got Oladejo, of course, Draymond Jones coming over from Seattle, Lorenzo Carter, and Jalen Harrell, who they liked from last year's draft class.
Yeah, Jalen Harrell was my 53rd and final man on this roster via this projection, to be honest with you. I mean, he just didn't show enough last year. There was some initial excitement. You know, he had the lowest pass rush win rate in the entire NFL last year, according to Pro Football Focus. You include some minimum qualifiers, minimum snap counts into that data.
That's tough,
It wasn't good enough, certainly. And I do think he needs to show a lot more. This is another spot they need to upgrade. But they've talked about it all, OTAs, minicamp, coordinated rush plans. They got bigger, stronger, stouter on the edge. None of that's going to matter if they're not better, right? I think there's fair questions whether or not they're better at that spot. Certainly the biggest question mark on this team heading into 2025.
All right, inside linebacker Cody Barton. A lot of talk about him during camp. James Williams, of course, coming from safety and developing. Cedric Gray, Orji, and you go David Benda. 5 inside linebackers.
Yeah, they kept 6 last year initially, and I do think there's some room for maneuvering here and maybe an upset or two. The one that I left off was Otis Reese. That's probably the biggest one. He's entering his 3rd year with the team. Wasn't healthy, right, at OTA's minicamp. Didn't practice as much as they'd like him to. He's got to make a big push throughout training camp. They got 3 linebackers that I think most Titans fans don't know who they are on the back end of this roster. Curtis Jacobs, Anthony Orji, and Amari Burney. What's interesting enough, throughout my research, I realized all 3 of those guys who were acquired this offseason have a tie to a new front office member. Like Curtis Jacobs was in Kansas City with Mike Borgonzi. Anthony Orji was in New Orleans last year with Dave Ziegler. And Amari Burney was in Vegas in 2023 with Dave Ziegler. So probably not a coincidence that they brought those guys in. David Benda, the UDFA out of Texas, could make a valiant effort. Right now it's Cody Barton and friends. We know he's a top-tier guy at that spot. Who's going to win the opposite job? Probably between James Williams or Cedric Gray. But one of those other, 5 or 6 underdogs, if you will, have a chance to get themselves into that mix.
What position are you most concerned with when you put together your 53-man roster?
It's definitely edge. The one that we just went through. They were 3rd lowest in sacks last year, 3rd fewest sacks of any NFL team, with only 32. That's less than 2 a game instead of a 17-game season. So that was a huge issue for them. They got rid of Harold Landry, who led them in sacks last year. how quickly does Femi Oladipo acclimate? He's still kind of raw coming over from inside linebacker. Draymond Jones, failed to live up to a contract in Seattle. That's why he was available this offseason. Arden Key still seems kind of miscast as like a number one rusher there. Certainly it's the biggest sore spot on this team right now. It's going to have to be death by committee, right? Death by 1,000 paper cuts. If this unit's going to be good, it's because all of them have 6-7 sacks, right? None of these guys are 15, 14 sack guys. It's going to have to be a team effort, and hopefully Denard Wilson can get them there.
Mello, let me ask you about this secondary real quick. You where are your thoughts? Need some more depth? What are we missing?
Legarius.
It's funny, right? It's right. That's the question, right? It's funny how quickly things change. If you remember this time last year, Titans fans were getting online and arguing that they had the best secondary in the NFL. I mean, how quickly that changes with one Legarius Sneed injury, right? I've got him on the 53. You'd like to think he's going to be healthy by the time September rolls around. That quad injury's been awfully peculiar and stubborn. We'll see what his involvement is throughout training camp. They need him on the practice field. They need him healthy. At safety, I think they're in pretty good standing. Amani Hooker, Xavier Woods, Kevin Winston Jr. is going to give them something as a rookie. They're 3 deep there. They need contributions from Roger McCreary, Darryl Baker, Jarvis Brownlee, the underdogs of the corner room last year. Watch out for Marcus Harris, the 6th-round rookie out of Cal. I'm told internally they really, really like him. He's got some inside-outside versatility. You never have enough corners. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's not going to be healthy. Maybe multiple someones, right? That's the way it goes at corner. Marcus Harris is going to play football for this team at some point this year. I also think they've got some good back-end depth at safety. I kept Mike Brown and Julius Wood on this 53-man roster. People forget about Julius Wood. They brought him in late last year, played special teams. He's got some developmental upside. I think Mike Brown is a good replacement-level type of player as well, an average NFL backup that can come in and give you good snaps in a pinch. They've got some depth in that secondary, but they've got to be healthy, and it starts with Legarius Sneed.
Man, really interesting stuff, dude. Really appreciate you hopping on, and it's never too early to kind of gauge the 53.
The pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me. Titans of the South is the book. 2025 packs available on the official website right now. That's titansofthesouth.com. $20 plus free shipping. Covers entire history of the franchise from 1960 to 2025. And we're giving away a free gift with every purchase of the new version.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Mello, the free gift, is it a Traylon Burks bobblehead or something different?
It's actually Traylon Burks and you together. It's a bobblehead of both of you together. I didn't want people to know that, but we're no longer under embargo, apparently.
Joined at the hip. It's one bobblehead with 2 heads.
Oh, my man.
Thank you, Mello.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
There you go. Looking at the 53. So no Traylon Burks, but 7 wide receivers.
No, he didn't say no Traylon Burks. He said battling with somebody. Babsy, I saw you. What's your concern? You concerned with the secondary, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a little side eye and you like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All these people that they like, but nobody really just stand on.
I mean, when he's like, oh, yeah, a guy that everybody forgets about that might
that right there, yeah.
might play a big role.
I mean, seriously,
awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
What are we expecting from Legarius Sneed?
I mean, listen, man. Savage say all the time.
Is he going to be in
stars are made
jail?
every day.
Is he going to be here? Like, nobody knows. There's a freaking civil suit for attempted murder against him. What are we doing?
It is.
Sounds like
It's so bizarre.
sounds like a portion of Major League.
We got to figure it out soon.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Baltimore ain't got no problem with their secondary.
I'd have signed him for $4 million with some extra incentives.
Man, all right. Jair Alexander went right on up there.
Yeah.
Cheeto went right on up there.
Right?
1 year, $6 million.
Yeah, they that secondary.
But it's like $4 million with
$2 million
possible-
incentive.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Do you
That's
think he's going to
nothing.
get up to Baltimore and anoint himself captain like he did?
No,
in his
you
previous
don't
stop?
need to when you got a
I don't know, but
MVP
you
running
have-
around in them going.
That's right. You have an issue with him, though, because he's played, 2 games the last...
He's missed 14 games the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That's tough. Isn't that what you always look at first?
I
Babs?
do, but
Okay.
I'm like, whatever, he's cheap. I mean, I would take the risk on it.
All right.
I'm in.
When we come back, Coach Mack will join us. Talk more Titans football. Coach Mack presented by Two Rivers Ford as we continue to get essential elements pumped into our body. Medicalhousecalls.com. We'll be right back.
Do you need new windows? Do you need new doors? Do you know where you need to go if you do? Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. When it's time to upgrade things in your home, Pella's who you need to call. It was time for us and my rental property and our house. And I've loved the experience. You might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Even more affordable when you tell them to give you the Dawn deal. Yes, this month. I do a different one every month. They kind of let me have a little fun with this. And for the month of June, you can get 60% off qualifying installations plus 0% APR for 36 full months. So there you go. The best deal yet. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. They're celebrating 100 years in business this year. So you know they're doing something right. They'll take care of you, I promise. Schedule your free consultation. Check out that limited time special offer. Easy to do it online. PellaNashville.com.
Good afternoon. 4:01. I am Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios.
Wait. What in the world is happening here?
I'm Joseph Bonanno. I have to do my update. Excuse me 1 second. In NFL news today, the Baltimore Ravens have signed former Packers All-Pro cornerback Jair Alexander, who was released last week, to a one-year deal worth $4 million. He can earn an extra $2 million in incentives. Alexander has only played in 14 games over the last 2 seasons in Green Bay, but a fresh start in Baltimore. The 2026 SEC basketball schedule has been released for the Tennessee Vols. Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas A&M will come to Knoxville. The Vols will go to Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, Missouri, and South Carolina. The College World Series semifinals begin today as only 4 teams remain. Coastal Carolina is up 10-3 on Louisville in the 5th inning, and Arkansas plays LSU at 6 p.m. For all your foundation repair and your waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you. Don Davenport, Ron Slay here. Zeph Dog, producer of 3HL. What just happened in there?
I had to call Coach Mack, and so Bert stepped in and became me for the update.
So you wrote the copy and Bert just read it?
Absolutely.
Good job, Bert. Thumbs up. Whoops. That's not Coach Mack. Coach Mack joins us now, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Coach, what's up? How are you?
It sounds like you've got it all under control there, Brett. Ron, Don, welcome back.
Thanks, Coach Mack.
You know what, Don? If you were in Vegas, of course, look, I can't imagine anybody I'd rather be in Vegas with in the casino than you.
Damn right, Coach Mack. We brought the party wherever we went.
That's exactly right. Do you play craps?
Okay, no. So it's funny that you asked.
No. Let me stop you. You would be hell on a craps table.
I know, but it's so intimidating. Like, it's so fast. It's so fast.
Let me tell you something. I would love to be with you sometime when we take a fistful of American money. I'll teach you how to do that.
All right, listen. Next time we're in a Titans road game in a casino city, then it's on.
I can't go in there during the Titans road game. It has to be in a off season, just like you went. But you at the craps table would be so much fun.
So my dad, for my 21st birthday way back in the day, took me to Vegas and taught me how to gamble, everything, right, including craps.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, I got intimidated by it, and then I know the gist of it. I just haven't done it live in a long time.
I mean, he should get a Father of the Year award for that.
That's right. Coach Mack with us, presented by Two Rivers Ford. All right. So what do we got, like 4.5 weeks now until training camp?
Yeah.
What's going on from a coaching perspective? And when you were a head coach, what was your message to the team? Because you can't just show up for training camp day one having not worked out for 4.5 weeks.
Well, they know better now. I mean, there's so much money on the line now. They're so much more sophisticated. No, they always have been, because they know. I mean, look, they've worked really hard to get to this point. They're well conditioned right now. They really are. Now they've got to build on that while they're away. They will all have gotten individual workouts that position specific to do. But the longer you're in the league, the more you understand how critical this time is. It's critical for 2 reasons, Brent. You've got to take some time off to be able to reset and recharge a little bit. But then you've also got to get, really about the 4th of July, you get geared in as to getting ready to get to camp, because you should come to camp in the best condition that you're going to be in, and then try to maintain that during the course of a 17-week season. So this is a critical time. And then the message that as a head coach, and I'm sure all the rest of them have left them with, is just don't be that guy. You're on your own for that. Just don't be that guy, Don. And everybody knows what the addendum is to all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You put that guy in his body in shock is what you do, right?
Just don't be that guy. I mean, there's just too much. There's too much at stake. There's just way too much at stake. I mean, and for what? Normally, any of these things that happen, they they're nonsense and they make no sense, but they make a huge difference in your career.
Every time. Coach Mack, how impressed are you walking away from this minicamp, getting ready with this break with your quarterback right now?
Well, I mean, look, he's the one thing. I mean, you guys were at the event last night, and I say this: he's still going to have he's still on a huge learning curve, big learning curve. He's going to have valleys. He's going to have to go through. The thing that I am sold on and impressed on is his demeanor, because that to me is something that's extremely important. And it's just like I said at the event last night, with Dr. Dyson there and with Blaine there and with Ramon there. Those guys all know the importance of having a quarterback that you can depend on demeanor-wise and attitude-wise during the course of a game, because bad things are going to happen during the course of a game. They're just going to, because both teams are trying to make bad things happen for the opponent. That's what you do. But the way that you respond to those bad things, especially at the quarterback position, is a huge, huge indicator, and it's a huge thing for your team to be able to follow. Poor reaction to bad things that happen to quarterbacks, poor body language, all of those types of things have a detriment for your football team. This guy, I like his demeanor because he's pretty steady.
Coach Mack, you know the defensive side of the ball quite well. You know all of the ball. All of both sides quite well, but defensively, if you're Denard Wilson, what's one thing if you had to point to it, you say, I really need this to go well going into this camp and into season?
Needs to find out who his pass rush is without having to manufacture one.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep, it does. Yep.
And then he needs to find out who. We're going to find that out. The other thing is he needs to find one corner that can be an eraser, that he can have confidence in, that can be an eraser. Because in this day and age, that is a huge thing for defensive coordinators. All the success I've ever had as a defensive coordinator, and especially on defenses, has always, especially in the way that football is played now, everything, you have to have it up front. Up front has to be a deal. But the thing that really puts you over the top, if you have one guy that's an eraser, that when you game plan, you can go into it and say, hey, right now, Brent, you got this dude wherever he goes, and the other 10 of us, here's how we're going to defend this team. That's huge.
Yeah, God help everybody.
And Coach, that's with the way that, with you saying that with in mind, the way Denard Wilson wants to play. That up front physical style. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It absolutely is, Ron.
Yeah.
I mean that's what he wants. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean I just have been with him too long. I know his background, where he comes from, the things that have been successful on the teams that I've been on, where he's been coaching. You gotta have that. So I'm not going to make any proclamations on any of anybody on defense until they get their pads on and they start setting their pads against opponents.
Yep.
Having said that, did anybody, like a couple players, stand out to you during minicamp?
Well, as much as you can with shorts on. First of all, the middle linebacker we got from Denver is a legitimate player.
Yeah.
I mean, he immediately took control. I like the two young ones. Just watching the improvements they've made. Talking about Gray and Williams, the improvements they've made from last year. Gray had a long way to go because he put himself in a real hole when he got injured early. But Williams has been progressing ever since he's been on the field. The thing that I like is they were much more vocal during this time. They have a better understanding of what's going on. But until I see both of them in a sustained time of setting their pads against an opponent, I'm going to withhold judgment. But because the middle linebacker is a legitimate football player. He's a legitimate player. The other thing is that's important in this defense. You have to have two safeties that are interchangeable, and I think right now they've got that. And then the young safety from Penn State, I'm really looking forward to when he's finally available to get out there, because I mean, just on the hoof and watching him just do work on the sides, that's a dude.
Kevin Winston Jr., yeah. You got any Coach Mack things you're going to do during this 4-week break?
Mack Over America tour, absolutely.
Mack Over America.
It's always filled up. I've got a lot of places. I've got several places I've got to go, several clinics, that I'm speaking at? The answer is yes.
Well, good. Well, we appreciate the time, Coach, and we'll talk with you next week, man.
Guys, always look forward to it. Don, just put that down on your calendar one of these days.
Let's do it.
All right, see you guys.
Love you, Coach Mack.
Your dad took you to Vegas to teach you how to gamble when you turned 21?
Yeah.
You say, yeah, like everybody's dad does that for him.
Is that not normal?
Everybody's dad does it.
He's like, listen, you gotta know how to do it properly.
Slay Dog, you hit the crab stable?
Yeah. Yeah, I hit the crab stable.
I'm with Don. It's,
well,
it's a little intimidating for me. Like, it's moving fast.
Yeah, the times we haven't, we went, well, I didn't hit it. Me and Babs slid over there one night just to lollygag around while we were waiting on the dealers to change over there with blackjack. But
yeah,
it was, we watched the guy hit every single number. I forgot the name for it, and the lady had to go back and check.
She had to check the camera.
She had to look through the tape?
Yeah.
But he was on fire, and so they paused the table to go back and check. It took about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was scorching. Yeah. And they figured out he had hit, so they paid him. Next roll, sub him out. I mean, when I say scorching,
I would have been pissed if I were him.
We kept on saying, just give him the dice. Yeah. Give him the dice, let him roll, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. Everybody was getting paid off of him.
Yep.
Everybody was getting paid.
Interesting.
So that's the thing about dice, man.
Too fast.
Speaking of Vegas, our guy in Vegas, Todd Furman, joins us next. We'll talk about the NBA Finals Game 6. Oklahoma City, a 6.5-point favorite on the road tomorrow night at Indiana. Also, Florida wins again. What was the impact in Vegas on that? NASCAR is in Pocono this weekend. Todd Furman next on 104.5 The Zone.
Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Get on over there, man. SpringHillAC.com. Reach out to them. Just figure exactly how to stay cool in this summer heat. I'm telling you, man, it is coming around the corner. Don't let this rain fool you and still think you in spring. Heat comes behind that. So you want to turn your AC on, make sure it's blowing the correct way. If it's not, you need to schedule your 21-point tune-up. You get that for only $69. Now, if you turn that unit on and you understood this is not the right thing, don't wait until the peak of the summer to get it repaired. Get it done right now. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, they offer free service calls. You heard that right. Free service calls with their repairs, plus low monthly payments on those repairs. Call another company about your unit. Not sure if you agree? Well, Spring Hill also gives free second opinions, so you can always be confined and understand exactly what's going on. And somebody you trust, because Kevin and the family, they do it right. It's family-owned and operated. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, always delivering good AC. SpringHillAC.com.
All right, I want to tell you about Two Rivers Ford. You in the market for a car, SUV, truck. I love my Ford F-150, by the way. Well, guess what? Two Rivers Ford is now offering employee pricing for everybody. So that means you pay what they pay on almost every single new Ford on the lot. I promise you will find something that you fall in love with. And at Two Rivers Ford, you know what you see, always what you get. They don't do things like tack on service packages that aren't worth it to increase the price of the vehicles. Two Rivers Ford, upfront, honest every single time. And now they're offering you employee pricing. No better time to buy American. And there is no better dealership than my friends at Two Rivers Ford. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. Home of the non-commissioned sales team. You always hear me talk about how great they are. And now home of employee pricing for everyone. From America, for America. Yes, go see my friends. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Our guy in Vegas, Todd Furman, joins us now. Todd, what's up? How are you?
Well.
I am doing well this Wednesday afternoon.
Well, mister.
Go ahead, Slay. What are you going to start with, my friend?
Nothing. He welcomes you in. I just want to interrupt you. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that. The fewer words I can share in this segment, the easier it is on me from a physical and emotional toll standpoint.
Guess what Slay did, Todd Furman?
Played a 12-leg parlay that paid a little better than even money.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Boy, you something else, boy. I'm telling you.
So I've been trying to tell Slay, like he has these parlays and he oftentimes falls one leg short. And I was like, hey man, if you bet all those individually too, you'd be making money. So you know what he does now? He bets individual games now.
I mean, that's the way to do things. If you want to play parlays, you play substantially more on your straight legs, and then you decide if you're really feeling lucky, you try and combine everything for a small fractional wager. A much better and more profitable long-term strategy, at least on the surface, than playing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teamers on a regular nightly routine.
Good job, Slay. I'm so proud of you.
All the single bets. All the single bets.
I've been missing out. I've been missing out, man. I could have been in a much better spot right now if I had been doing this probably 3 years ago.
Well, look, you're proving that you can teach an old dog new tricks, so we're proud of you regardless, Slay.
Is it true that Payne Insider, the other portion of the Bet the Board podcast, was in Vegas while Don Davenport was there?
Yeah.
I can neither confirm or deny his presence since there were no witnesses there to corroborate said allegations. So it's one of those things that we may or may not and never know to be factually accurate one way or another.
I mean, he might not have had his sunglasses on as well, and I missed
for
my
all
chance.
you know, Don, you may have walked past him multiple times should he allegedly have been in Vegas, and you would never have known his whereabouts during your entire foray when Dawn, I think, spent about 13 seconds of her 72-plus hours in Vegas with a BAC that was below the legal level.
So what you're saying is that Babs
Actually, I don't even think I got up to 13 seconds from it. I was done before the plane even landed.
I mean, look, the reality of it is these days when you walk along Las Vegas Boulevard, it's not alcohol that you have to worry about. It's the contact high you get from other legalized substances out here in the desert.
Yeah, it was heavy.
So
heavy.
Are you saying that Babs came all the way to your hometown and did not see you?
I mean, does that shock me? I mean, that's pretty much the tagline for how 3HL operates, whether you're here on personal endeavors or you happen to come as part of your business responsibilities. I mean, 1 out of every 5 visits, you guys make time to try and see me. So I'm thrilled that we were able to do dinner at Piero's as a collective because I may not see anybody else's smiling faces for the next 5 to 7 years at this rate.
I did try to meet up with him.
You tried.
I tried.
Yeah, that's debatable. Brent, you have the text message exchange. I'm not sure Dawn really tried that hard. If you try that hard to keep your job, you're typically fired during your 90-day probationary period.
I do love your city, Furman. That was amazing.
I'm proud of you for surviving, but I do have to ask, what was your takeaway from seeing Kenny Chesney at the Sphere? Have not had a chance to see a major concert there yet myself.
Unbelievable. Worth every penny. Make sure you're not in a blocked view. Or on the floor or anything. Like, we were in the 300 section, and it was amazing. I mean,
were you worried at all about motion sickness, vertigo, or anything like that? That seems to be the only negative bit of feedback that I get from folks that go to shows there.
Yes, if you're anybody on the verge of that, do not go to it. Do not.
Yeah, and higher up you are, the better the experience is.
I mean, because you're looking straight up at the top of the Sphere to see everything, like in the entire. I mean, it was amazing. I would completely do it again. And we're a little spoiled around these parts. Like, we don't necessarily pay a lot of money for entertainment tickets or concerts, usually.
Why are you giving away our secrets?
I'm just saying, but it was worth every penny. It was amazing. You got to go, Furman. You live there, and you haven't even seen a show in the Sphere.
We've kind of pick and choose. My wife and I do not share similar musical tastes, so it makes things a little bit more challenging. A Grateful Dead was not going to necessarily be able to sell her on any more than Kenny Chesney, so we'll find a middle ground somewhere along the way, but I know they show, a couple of different unique movies that have been basically created and crafted to maximize the experience there. And I'm very curious to see. I think The Wizard of Oz actually starts there on off nights beginning at the end of August. So I have to imagine that'll be a pretty cool experience. Yeah. And you try and figure out what other kind of psychedelics you get your hands on to really reap the true benefits of that.
Nice. Yeah, no, it was amazing, Furman. You would enjoy.
By the way, Furman, we're actually in the process of doing IVs in the studio right now, and Chelsea's taking them out of our arm as we speak. And Dawn actually said that she was like, "Should I feel a little tired while I'm doing this?"
I mean, do you guys get to choose what kind of IVs you're doing? Because I feel like this is the new in vogue way to try and go about it. I mean, whether it's a hydration IV, revitalizing, anti-aging. I mean, I'm sure Slay has a little bit of experience for this when he's trying to run a 40-yard dash to recover from his lower body that may not basically respond the same way it needs to be. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys are maximizing these IVs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Shoot the Toradol right into his lower extremities at this point.
That's what we did. All right, this doesn't have anything to do with sports gambling, but a huge story out there, Todd. I wanted to get your take. The Buss family selling majority ownership of the Lakers to TWG Global for $10 billion. What do you think about that?
Nice little bit of chump change, and for an organization that had probably been, not necessarily passed by in terms of the overall affluence of the ownership group, this is more than a game changer for them. If they're going to go above and beyond some of the salary constraints and be willing to pay the taxes, we've seen what this group has done for the Dodgers, continuing to bring in the most iconic names in the sport and do everything to make the Dodgers the gold standard. You have to imagine that the Lakers are going to try and do everything in their power to restore a franchise to prominence, knowing that LeBron is in the twilight of his career. It'll no doubt impact, what Luka Doncic's extension would look like as well. And pretty wild when you think about two of the most iconic brands of the NBA, both franchises getting sold in roughly a 3-month span. The Boston Celtics kind of the first domino to go, and the Lakers to follow suit roughly 3 months later.
That makes a lot more sense now that you put it like that. You got to be able to go get them free agents and not be looking over your shoulder what you're spending. Yeah.
For sure.
That's what made the Lakers the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. I mean, it's a question of doing business and not pinching pennies to make sure that you want to put the most competitive product out there. And while it is a business, look, there's a reason that there are only, 30-some-odd franchises for most of these professional sports. So if you're not in there to actually go win championships, there are easier ways, in my opinion, to make a buck than being an owner or in an ownership group in professional athletics these days.
Let's talk a little College World Series, Todd. Coastal Carolina all over Louisville, 11-3, bottom of 8. So Louisville looks like they will be eliminated. Coastal Carolina with no losses. You talked about them in the Super Regionals when you picked them over Auburn. You still riding Coastal Carolina at this point?
Wish I had some exposure to them at any point during the College World Series in the futures market. I mean, they were as high as 6.5 to 1 coming into Omaha, and they've kind of breezed through their portion of the draw. The one good thing for Slade that'll help him save face, there will at least be one SEC team playing in the College World Series Championship Series, whether it's Arkansas or LSU, remains to be seen. But you look at Coastal, I mean, look, you don't win 25-plus games in a row because you get lucky. Top RPI team in all of college baseball, and we know how difficult it is to be able to accomplish that feat with a strength of schedule that doesn't rival some of the grind and rigor of going through the SEC. But the nice thing that the Chants will have working for them as well is that pitching rotation will be set up perfectly for them. So if you are a fan of Coastal Carolina, there's no doubt you're hoping for Arkansas to knock off LSU tonight, and that hope that a potential winner-take-all scenario between those two familiar foes goes about 36 innings where both teams have to burn every single arm going into Game 1 of the championship series on Saturday.
Todd, Father, all right, let's talk about this hoops, which I've been on fire on. But that's neither here nor there, Todd, Father. I said OKC in 6. In the beginning, stuck with that, and now they walk into Indiana with Halliburton in question, saying that he's going to do whatever he can to play. But I don't like, after watching Kevin Durant go through it with the calf muscle, and that being an extension of the Achilles a little bit, him coming back, forcing it to play. Now Halliburton kind of being in that situation, saying he's going to ask the right questions. If Halliburton doesn't play, what are the odds for the Pacers to try to push this to a Game 7?
You know, we've seen a little bit of back and forth play in the number 4 Game 6. Opened as low as 4.5, 5, got as high as 7, and we're kind of sitting in that 6.5 range painted across the board. The bigger move has come in on the total. 224.5 now down to 221.5, which makes a world of sense. If you think Tyrese Halliburton is going to be limited or completely unavailable for Game 6, it makes it that much more difficult for the Pacers to go out there and push the pace and tempo. Look, TJ McConnell has done a tremendous job, and I was actually a little bit surprised he wasn't out there in crunch time of the fourth quarter, knowing that him at 100% was a better offensive and defensive option than a compromised Tyrese Halliburton. But what do the minutes allotment look like behind TJ McConnell, and how much can he actually play in a win or go home type scenario for the Pacers? So I think if Halliburton officially gets ruled out, this number continues to drift up, and if you happen to like the Pacers, you'll be able to get 7. I do think the total would tick down a little bit further. But to your point, Slay, I mean, you're always flirting with a little bit of a precarious position because you can never tell with that strained calf exactly what kind of stress you're putting on the Achilles. And once that Achilles pops, I mean, that sidelines you for an extended period of time. So everyone is a warrior at this stage of the season. You, of course, want to be out there playing at all costs. But, you know, what is the potential negative ramifications if Halliburton not only looks like a shell of himself, but injures that lower body further? I'm sure it is a tenuous 24-plus hours of dialogue between him, Rick Carlisle, and, of course, the training staff there for the Pacers.
Todd, do you invest in player props at all in this?
I don't do it. I don't do a ton in the NBA or even in the NHL. I'll play in the NHL a little bit more during the playoffs where limits are a little bit higher. We do quite a bit during the NFL regular season, but given the nature of the way that we'll look to bet into props, you have to be a little bit sneaky about how you try and disguise your wagers when 70 to 75% are typically under bets on players that most bookmakers have never really heard of. It raises red flags pretty quickly in all of this. But player props have definitely grown in their overall prevalence and availability for recreational bettors. And it's one of the things with legalization that we've seen as a much more expanded menu, not just with the superstars, which were available for a while, but some of those secondary and tertiary options, especially in like an NBA final situation.
It was unfortunate. We had a sports betting unfortunate situation that occurred. Where Babs and Travis sent us a message, and they were looking for some advice on what to do at the sports book in Game 5. And so Slay's response was, "Are you looking for a parlay?"
Yes.
And then
To which I said, hell no.
but he sent
There we go, Don. Thank you.
I got you.
He sent the parlay, and she chose one bet. So Slay had one leg of the parlay, 6-leg parlay that did not hit.
And Don found the one losing leg?
Yes,
Yep.
Alex Caruso, 10.5 or more points.
That's the one I
And
picked.
here's the irony in all of this. Dawn's ticket paid the exact same as Slay's after Slay won 5 out of 6. So let
Thank
that be
you,
a lesson
Furman.
for everybody out there listening in 3HL land.
No, Top Father. I'm a single better now too. Now, don't forget.
And so
Now,
he won
you know-
5 out of 6.
Yeah.
Slay, the question I have when you're now playing straight bets, I mean, how much are you moving these numbers and what are these price tags looking like? Or are you betting into that traditional $1.10 to $1.15 type price threshold?
Yeah, no, I'm staying right there. I'm a lot of them I'm going plus. I'm on the plus side of it, but I don't start moving numbers, Top Father, till football comes around. That's my number moving. Now, basketball I'm kind of cool with.
You know, there's no man I know who loves to move college football games through dead numbers more than you, Slay. So it is a distinction and a mantle that you hold very near and dear to your betting acumen.
I accept that too, Top Father.
Through dead numbers.
Hey, listen, we get it done, man. Woo, when they hit, boy, they hit.
Hey, look, I mean, there's nothing that says betting college football on a Saturday, taking a team from 10.5 to 12.5 as an underdog, because we know how many college games end 11 and 12 throughout the course of the college football regular season.
I hate when you make sense. I promise, I hate it. It burns my soul when you make sense.
I mean, look, Slay, this is what was going to happen. I had to come out spitting fire if you were going to cut me off before I could even get my intro in to start the segment today.
That's true. Hey, so what was the effect with Florida winning again? Did Vegas win or
somebody
did,
called that too, Top Father?
or
Yeah,
did
very
the
good
Jones
outcome.
win?
Very good outcome for the books in terms of the future market, knowing that Florida's odds never really drifted past 10 or 11 to 1. So when you have a team that comes in kind of as the defending Cup champion, their price stays relatively short. Edmonton would have been a worse outcome for them. The Oilers got as high as 22, 25 to 1 when the postseason started, when they stared down the barrel of that 0-2 deficit against the Kings early on in the playoffs. But as far as the individual game-to-game betting, a lot of the books I spoke to said the Stanley Cup final wasn't exactly great for them. 5 out of the 6 games go over the total. All 6 first periods go over the total with 2+ goals being scored. And the Florida Panthers, even when they were priced out, in my opinion, at to $1.75, a little bit overvalued, are able to get home and, of course, cover the puck line as well with that dominant win in Game 6. And look, there's no way to really sugarcoat it. I mean, you can make a legitimate case that in a best-of-7 series that went 6 games, that the Florida Panthers could have won 6 of those games if it wasn't for a bounce here, bounce there that Edmonton was able to take advantage of in Game 1 in overtime and, of course, Game 4. But the better team won, and they were dominant in doing so, in my opinion.
So what are we looking at next season? I don't know from a roster standpoint where they are, but are they set up for a three-peat?
Yeah, a couple of big free agent signings that they're going to have to try and be able to secure. Brad Marchand, who they acquired at the trade deadline from the Boston Bruins. Sam Bennett, who took home the Conn Smythe Trophy yesterday for the best individual performance in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and a lifetime Florida Panther on their blue line. And Aaron Ekblad. Unless all 3 of those guys are willing to take significant haircuts, you have to imagine that at best Florida will be able to re-sign 2 of those guys as they try and go for the three-peat. But that's a group that's played a ton of hockey over the last couple of seasons, because you win 2 Stanley Cups in a row, you get to the Stanley Cup final before, and you wonder the wear and tear it takes on these players, and then factor in, what is going to be an even more tumultuous in-season tournament with all these players, or a lot of them, the marquee ones at least, going over to Italy to play for the Olympic gold medal, so you'll have a 3-week break there. But the Panthers, more or less co-favorites in that 7.5 to 1 range to go out there and get the job done again. We'll see what Edmonton does to retool their roster, because for as close as they were battling back down 3-0 2 years ago, it looked like they just didn't have any of the answers they needed to be able to match some of Florida's depth in the Stanley Cup final that we saw wrap up last night.
NASCAR in Pocono, what are you looking at there?
I mean, this is the track that Denny Hamlin built. Essentially, when you look at Denny Hamlin, I know some of the metrics will be misleading. In the next-gen era, he has a couple of top 2 finishes. For those folks that see where he finished 35th, keep in mind he actually won that race but was disqualified in post-race inspection. So if you back that down to what it actually is, he's got an average finish better than second in 3 trips to the Tricky Triangle, a driver rating north of 126. And you have to imagine Denny, after the week off, to be with his partner to see their son born over the weekend, not making the trip to Mexico City, will be entrenched and would love to go out there and win. If you're looking a little bit further down the board, the one driver that kind of catches my eye in that 12 to 14 to 1 range, I think Tyler Reddick will be real good this weekend. So Denny, a rightful favorite at 4.5 to 1. I think he is the guy to beat, but I could see Tyler Reddick in that 45, 23-11 Toyota giving Denny a little bit of a run for his money.
What about J.J. Spawn winning at Oakmont? What was the...
150 to 1. So congratulations to anybody who saw that coming. Judging by a couple of the sports books I spoke to, there weren't many folks that could claim they had J.J. Spawn identified going into the U.S. Open. And just an incredible way to be able to rally for what was one of the poorest front nines, where he shoots a 40 and 5 over par and is able to right the ship, come up with some timely drives, and, of course, the needle... Or I would say the cherry on top with a 64-foot putt, the longest that we saw sunk all weekend to close things out. Was not thrilling for someone like myself that came in with Victor Hovland at 60 to 1. But look, Vic didn't play his best golf on Sunday and took himself very much out of contention. So we'll see if JJ is able to follow it up, but has cemented himself as a guy that's going to get some run at the Ryder Cup. So a hat tip for a player that really hadn't accomplished much from a major perspective, obviously, and even winning tournaments during his PGA Tour career until last weekend.
Hey.
Somebody in the chat said, did that guy with the crazy cash out options stay with the bet? Talking about the Panthers. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, that part I don't know. I haven't really tracked some of those stories. You hope that people that had that kind of win equity are at least going to take a little bit off the table. But if you do find yourself to have some of that life-changing money out there from a sports betting standpoint, the cash out option isn't going to give you the most upside. I know it's tough for a lot of folks to be able to carve out that much liquidity to try and be able to bet. But make sure you're doing everything you can to explore all options if you're going to have a six-figure payday coming your way.
Interesting.
Todd Furman, our guy in Vegas. Thank you, Todd. Good stuff. Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Todd Father, before you go.
Yeah, Slay.
Do you think in sports in general, the way this the money's been tossed around, we'll ever see a three-peat again?
In terms of what
in any sport, hockey, football, basketball, like any team sport.
I would say football, probably not, just because it's really become such a game of attrition that all it takes is an injury here or there, that it's extremely difficult for teams to get that lucky 3 seasons in a row. I mean, the NBA, you would have said if we had this discussion a decade ago that you had to have nothing but superstars on your roster, yet here we are about to crown a 7th different franchise as champion of the league in 7 years. And for the NHL, I mean, a little bit of uncharted territory for the Florida Panthers. I mean, yes, they've been to 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row, and it's hard to argue with the way the roster is constructed. So you never want to say never, but I think in this day and age, especially in sports with a hard salary cap, it makes the achievement that much more impressive when we actually get to see it.
Okay. Thank you, Todd Father.
Bet the Board podcast. Is it back?
June 30th, we will have a off-season podcast so folks can mark their calendars for that particular date. And I look at my calendar, that's about a week from Monday, right?
Yeah.
It would be June 30th? Okay. So, yep. Encourage folks to tune in and listen for some potential updates there.
I like it.
Love it. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, always a pleasure, guys.
Todd Father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that three-peat thing, man, it looks few and far in between now, man. Especially if Florida can't get it right here, money's only going to go up.
Yeah, interesting stuff on the Lakers with that $10 billion going to the group that is running the Dodgers. If they run the Lakers like they run the Dodgers,
that's what I'm saying.
They're going to put some dough down.
You know you need high-power stars to make that thing go in L.A.
I love it. We'll talk about that. Also, may or may not be funny. Next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening? You know what time it is. You know this. Every time I come through, I got to let the people know what it's about. And that's my good people over at Bart Durham Injury Law. Ain't no playing no games. It ain't no playing no games. And you know how life can change in an instant. Car wreck can come through, throw everything off. Not even your fault. And maybe it is your fault. Who knows? But your job, your bills, your peace of mind, all of that goes, man. It's over. That's when you need the good friends over at Bart Durham Injury Law to slide through, come through, protect you. Marine veteran Blair Durham and his team have been fighting for folks in Tennessee for years, making sure insurance companies, they going to pay up. No upfront costs, no waiting around, just some real people making sure you get what you deserve. So if you've been injured, don't wait. Ain't no need sitting there on your hands trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Don't listen to Buck and say sit and spin. It's not what you do. You call BDIL, Bart Durham Injury Law, 615-242-9000. That's 615-242-9000. Here 24/7 and ready to fight for you.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. So,
what is this?
I've got date night coming up with Dawn's husband on Sunday. And I thought it was Casey Musgrave's concert at the Ryman. It's not. She's like doing a podcast with some dude talking about shrooms.
Sounds like a good little concert right there to me.
So you're going to a live podcast, not a concert?
Yes.
Yeah.
About shrooms.
About shrooms.
Mushrooms.
I don't do them. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I don't care.
Who's
but
the co-host?
I don't know. Some
It should be
shroom,
Jake the Snake.
some
It's
shroom
like
guy.
science, something. Singing science is the
Sing and
podcast.
but Sing is in there, so she has to like at least sing like one song, doesn't she?
Right? I guess. While
But I
she's
told Travis,
talking about shrooms.
Yeah.
I told Travis I got the VIP 4-room tickets or whatever, so like open bar, top shelf. I'm like, we can hang in there if it's too weird for us.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
then-
You
and
guys
then-
can just drink
But you
in
said
there.
it would be fun.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be fun. If they give them out, put them in your pocket and bring them to me.
Wait,
'Cause
they
that's the show.
can't give them out, can they? Are they illegal?
Jake the Snake was walking around what's the name giving them out? The Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, I remember I got them and I
Yeah,
got
but
something
where
else.
were we?
New
We were
Orleans,
in-
I think.
No.
No,
we were
in
in
Cali.
L.A.
That's why.
Oh, we in L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I do not remember that happening in New Orleans.
Yeah, no, this is.
So
this is
you
LA.
said everything she's going to say about shrooms is funny?
This is gonna be hilarious.
If you're on shrooms,
Do you think do you think they're going to
Gonna
take them
die laughing.
before
okay,
the
you've
show?
got, my
Like, I'm
husband
talking about
and
real
Mayor do
tears.
not eat shrooms.
Yes, you can.
No, they don't.
Oh, well, yes, you can.
Okay.
The real tears,
Oh my gosh.
tears coming out of your eyes, crying is what's gonna happen. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You're gonna look at people and just start laughing.
Every day
I
we
do
talk
that
about
anytime.
something that I'm like, are we going to lose our jobs?
No, we're not. No, they doing this. Well, people probably been doing this the illegal way, but this is what I'm telling you about is the legal way.
These are legal.
Yeah.
So everything's going to be funny?
No, you're hilarious. I'm trying to expound about how you. What's more than hilarious? Because that's what it's gonna be.
More than hilarious.
Yeah, like you're going to cry. The problem is your jaws are gonna hurt from laughing so much.
Laura's daughter, she said, my daughter and her husband thought the same thing. They bought tickets thinking it was a concert.
Well, Laura.
Oh, see, you guys aren't going to be alone.
So it's a lot of
No,
people.
I mean,
a lot of people.
Listen, that place is going to be full. It's just going to be an experience I wasn't expecting. So what happens when she's done, like when we're leaving and everything? Is
It'll
everything
wear
still
off.
going to be funny?
No, it's gonna wear off. You're gonna be back to normal. You're gonna be like, dog, that was funny. Like, what?
Have you seen this show, Soy?
No, man. I'm telling you about what's added to the show, brother. You got to get in between the lines and read. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Trust you, buddy.
Will I be able to read at the show?
You don't need to read. You'll be just fine. You're going to have the time of your life. How long is the show? An hour 30?
I don't know.
Yeah. The laughter only about 40 minutes.
I can't wait to hear how this goes.
I can't wait either. I'm out. Yeah. Please. Y'all video call me.
Should we do that?
Please, absolutely.
Should we FaceTime you from the event?
Absolutely. When is it, this Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll be on the front porch good and ready. I can promise you that.
You'll get your drink ready. and
Oh,
everything.
yes. I'm on all the show. Yeah. Mhm.
All right, speaking of funny, this may or may not be funny. This is what we do around here. So this is, if you like the movie Major League, which why wouldn't you?
It's the best movie ever.
Then anytime I see a clip with Bob Uecker, I'm going to pull it and give it to Zeph for may or may not be funny. This is Bob Uecker in a conversation with David Letterman a long time ago. Check it.
Spring training to me, Dave, was learning to get in and out of hotels after curfew, finding the guys that can let you in, fire escape, stuff like that, you know.
Sure.
Baseball to me was always secondary. After the game was much more important than the game itself.
If you ever get nostalgic about the game, it would be today. Opening day. Must bring back a lot of memories.
Yeah, for a guy like myself, who was one of the all-time greats, I guess. First opening day, they had told me we were playing a night game, and I found out we'd played that afternoon. That was a little,
Got some bad info there.
Yeah, I kind of missed that. And,
You played Major League Ball for 6 years. Did you come up through the minor league system?
yes, I did. With the Braves. I was with the Braves twice, actually. They didn't believe how bad I was the first time, so...
How was it possible for a guy who didn't have Hall of Fame credentials, as they say? How could you have stayed in the show, as they call it, for 6 years?
For a guy like myself, I had a 200 lifetime batting average, which tied me with another sports great, Don Carter, one of our top bowlers. I tried to stay around 200, maybe 2 or 3 RBIs every year. Where you're not going to take that big salary cut, you know.
Hit long balls? You have any home runs?
If I wanted to.
Couple of dingers?
If I wanted to. There were a couple of years when I got off to good starts, and I said to myself, geez, what are you going to do later on? You better start pulling back a little bit. 65, I think I was 0 for June and July, which was really not that bad of a streak for me.
Who was that?
Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker.
Yeah,
okay.
from Major League.
I was like, this ain't no for real.
Yeah, he played. I think he was a 200 career hitter, which is the Mendoza line. Mini Mendoza. They like that, Zeph, as a baseball guy?
Yeah, that was funny. I didn't know he played for the Braves, though.
I didn't either.
Minor leagues. Twice.
They didn't believe how bad he was the first time.
Exactly.
So good. All right, 5 o'clock hour code up. Stay tuned. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Oh, man, the first phone call in the 5 o'clock hour will be Greg from Hendersonville, who wants to talk about Brent's Shroom Show. This will be something. If you're new to 3HL, welcome. This is what we do. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, that's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned. These are your guys. You can check out the inventory online, GuptonMotors.com. All of the dealership information is there. Address, phone number, inventory, both new and expansive pre-owned inventory. If you want to go that direction, you certainly can. All of the deals they have going on in the month of June right there on GuptonMotors.com. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. I've bought multiple vehicles from these guys. They're awesome. Awesome people. Just go on up there. Let them know what you're looking for. They will get you pointed in the right direction. Take your test drive. Go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway, beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. About 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com.
Good evening. It's 5:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. In NFL news today, the Baltimore Ravens signed former Packers All-Pro cornerback Jair Alexander, who was released from the Packers last week, to a one-year deal worth $4 million, where he can also earn an extra $2 million in incentives. Alexander's only played 14 games in the last 2 seasons in Green Bay, but gets a fresh start in Baltimore. The Buss family is entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers to the Los Angeles Dodgers owner, Mark Walter, for $10 billion. Jeannie Buss will continue to serve in her role as governor after the sale, which is the largest in professional sports. The College World Series semifinals began today as only 4 teams remain. Well, now only 3 teams remain as Coastal Carolina took care of Louisville 11-3 to earn their spot in the National Championship Series this weekend. Arkansas set to play LSU at 6 p.m. Winner of that one will head up to play Coastal, but Arkansas has to win too versus LSU. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Wednesday.
Day.
Babs over there directing with with those long arms and long fingers.
I'm on it.
Don't make me use them.
Usually the long middle finger has been directed at Zeph lately.
I would never.
But look who's producing right now.
Oh, hit it.
That's right. That's right.
Ross.
No middle fingers this way. Ain't that right, Slay?
You better believe it,
Ross, what do you think about my little predicament? I thought I was going to a Casey Musgraves concert at the Ryman, but it turns out it's a podcast about shrooms.
I mean, might be just as entertaining. I don't know.
That's what Slay's argument is.
This is amazing to me. This is unreal. No, you know what the best part is? He never would have known that it was not a concert if Mr. Babs hadn't looked it up.
Yeah.
To
that's true.
Check it all out.
This is true.
He was like, he called me. So I'm going to send you something. Do you think Brent knows? So I go look at it. I'm like, he has absolutely no clue.
No clue. I had no clue. I would have showed up and been like, wait, what?
What are we doing? Yeah. So Casey
Slay.
Musgraves is taping a podcast on mushrooms. The benefit of mushrooms.
Yeah, with some health expert guy. I don't know who he is. But Slay said I'm going to have a great time, though.
You will. You got to take the shrooms in order to have a great time.
Oh, my gosh, Slay.
Laura says, my daughter and her husband thought the same thing. They bought tickets thinking it was a concert.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon said there are some strands legal in Tennessee, some strands that are not.
All around the world.
Thanks for the info, Brandon.
Okay.
Ricky says, Brent already laughs naturally. Add this to it, and he might bust a gut.
That is true.
I'm telling
you. Greg in Hendersonville has something to say. Greg, what's up?
Big
Yep. I'm trying not to get run, but anyway, Chong is hip. He's got his thumb out going down California Interstate. Cheats fixing him up, my man. He says, "Hey man, try this. You'll have to. It's on YouTube. Blah blah blah." He said, "Try this, man." I said, "Oh no, not that." He said, "Oh my God, you just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat." And then the next 5 minutes is if the police pull up. And, of course, the car's full of smoke. He rolls the weed. He said, "Hey, man, I'm driving okay." They're parked. They hit a stop sign. They're parking a stop sign just in the middle of the road. He said, "Man, I'm driving okay." He said, "I don't know, man." He said, "Hey." And then the officer comes over and says, "Hey, dude, what's up?" He said, "I need your driver's license." "Ain't it on the back of the bumper, man?" You'll have to watch it. All right, anyway.
Okay, you got to pull that one up before you go to the show.
Yeah.
Love it, Greg. Thank you, man. All right.
Chong got some great moves, man.
Yes, they do.
Is that a movie or just a bit?
Oh, it might be a bit, but I know their
I don't
movies
know.
are excellent. I thought it was part of a movie.
Probably.
What is it? Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong? I think that's who they are.
Just keep it simple.
Cheech and Chong.
There you go.
615-737-1045. You want in at 3HL1045 on X. If you want to watch the show live, you can. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
What in the world's going on with your IV over there, Babsy?
Okay, so a couple of things happen.
Mine's been done for like 40 minutes. Slay's been done for like 55 minutes.
Well,
You're still rolling.
First of all, women
Oh, okay.
typically have some smaller veins.
Okay.
Right? My veins are smaller.
I'm big vein.
You are okay.
Why are you testing it out?
Because I know where it is.
stop.
I know where it is.
So,
time.
and then
Every time. Yeah,
on
more than
top
one.
of it, so there was like a little crease a little bit, like my vein just didn't want to open up, you know.
Oh, you didn't have your arm properly extended.
Well, no,
So
I
this
did.
is on you, not because you're a woman.
No, part of it is because I'm a woman and I have smaller veins. Now, the other part of it is I might be severely dehydrated after coming off a 4-day bender in Vegas, which means my veins are very tiny at this point.
It's great for athletes, immune
So, yeah.
boosting IVs, and energy boosting IVs. Get back to being your best self. MedicalHouseCalls.com. They will come to you. Babsy is here, y'all.
I'm here. I'm back.
Back, baby.
Twitch, please. Missed y'all. I missed all y'all.
We missed you too, Babsy. Missed a ton, Babsy.
Ramon Foster on YouTube. Come on, Savage. He writes, see, in the morning, our drugs are coffee, tea, Red Bull, Celsius, Monster drinks. In the evenings, y'all have weed, shrooms, and acid stories.
Yeah. I told him, like, by the time everybody get to us, everybody getting out work ready to go party.
Who's the pitcher that we identified as threw the no-hitter on acid?
Oh, yeah. We
He
had
dropped
that.
acid.
Doc Ellis.
What?
Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis,
Yep.
yeah. He dropped acid in the morning thinking he didn't have to pitch that day. And his wife was like, babe, you got to pitch today. He's like, no, I don't. I pitch tomorrow. She pulled out the newspaper that had the box, like the probable starters, and his name was in it. He's like, damn.
It's going down.
My man went out there. The stories are unbelievable. Yeah, there's a documentary about that.
Good
This
job,
came
man.
up a few weeks ago on the show, but I'm going to watch that documentary.
No hitter?
No hitter.
Just get the job done, man.
He said he saw crazy things. I think he hit 8 guys, though.
yeah. That was all right.
You think
No perfect game.
You think afterwards the only thing he said was, "Man, I shouldn't have hit those 8 guys."
I mean, he had really funny things to say about it. I just can't remember what they are, but I will look them up as we go through the thing. Everybody going crazy on. Wait, Slay's here, right?
I'm in the
You're
building.
here?
I'm in the building.
What you got going over there?
I just ordered me some Uncrustables. Because the car ain't got no roof. It's summertime. I probably need to sit it over there on the windowsill so it can unthaw.
Are they frozen right now?
Yeah, they always frozen until you unthaw them.
Oh.
You gotta be, listen, this is Uncrustable land. You don't know nothing about this land right here, y'all.
Should you be doing Uncrustables after an IV?
Why,
Are you good?
Yeah, what the hell the IV got to do with eating?
I just ate a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, you think you're supposed to starve because you got an IV?
I don't know.
No, man, you
What
good to
the
go.
hell does an IV have to do with eating?
Yeah, we ready to go. Unbeatably soft bread is what's in this Uncrustable. Thaw and eat. And everybody out there, the strawberry lovers like Savage, we don't go with that over here. All grape, baby. They'll tell them, Babsy.
Grape's the best.
Grape is the best.
I keep hearing that strawberry's the best, no?
Don't believe what you hear.
No,
Just believe who you know.
it's great.
Well, everybody's going crazy on social media about Caitlin Clark getting tossed around like a punching bag last night. She was dribbling the ball on the perimeter, got raked across the face. She was pushed. She pushed back simultaneously, then knocked to the floor. The weird thing to me was that her teammates didn't retaliate in the moment, at least not in the video I saw. Did you notice that too? Like, I always pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Because you can tell well-liked teammates.
Yeah, but you got to know who's on the other side, too. You better be smart about retaliating also.
Right.
Better know Tina.
So there's more to it than
Tina
that.
Charles is on that other side. Charles don't play that. So just know who you. It's like when people go up against Big Sam. God, I think
Perkins.
it's Sam. No, Sam Adams is
Adams.
one. And that the big man name? Sam Adams.
Samuel Adams is a good beer.
Yeah, but this ain't. Nah, he's 7 footer.
Adams?
Steven Adams played at Pittsburgh. Yeah, but Steven Adams is one.
Yeah.
The other one is James Johnson with the Indiana Pacers. They continue to talk about him while he's on the bench. Like he's I think whatever's over a black belt. He's a master. Yeah, like you don't want to play. Udonis Haslam is another one. You better think of second about running up on these teams. So some people you just want to kind of like let it somehow.
Sophie Cunningham did get it back later.
Yeah, in the game. That's how you're supposed to do it.
With a hard foul.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Which, by the way, she now is going viral.
She been viral.
Oh, no, she's really going viral now.
What's she do now?
I mean, swimsuit shots and all the things.
Yeah,
like, everyone's like, oh, wait, who is this, Sophie?
She had a controversy come across her a couple weeks ago where she may or may not have been accused of sleeping with a former...
That was before she got traded. That's what I was talking about 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Sleeping with who?
Was it the owner or the general manager? The owner of her previous team.
Phoenix Suns, yeah.
Interesting.
Which is why she got traded. Were the rumors. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the other part of this is
Good Lord.
The other part of this is and this is where we are with social media reaction. Like everybody just reacts to this little 4-second clip or whatever. But what led to that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did something lead to that? Like was Caitlin Clark running her mouth or like I don't know.
She's always running her mouth.
I think that's what people like not
There is
understanding.
never a moment where Caitlin Clark is not running her mouth.
And she's supposed to. I'm a bad mama jama. You know what I mean? Like,
I just think it's funny that people just take a 4-second clip and then without even thinking about like
it's easy
the bigger part of what this might be.
Like because if you're not watching the games, it's easier too. It creates the conversation of what's going on. But then when you dig deeper, that's when you got to always backtrack. So I just think, man, you always got to wait until you see the other sides of it. But like she talking that talk. You know what I mean? And I do think...
Who, Caitlin?
Yeah. She's talking that talk and walking the walk. You know what I mean?
I mean, what did she... If you look even back just like 20 seconds in that whole altercation, I mean, she's like, I could do whatever the beep I want to do.
So
I mean,
and then bump the girl, like, get above me. You know what I mean? So, okay. But I do think the girl was going for the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the poke in the eye, I don't think, that was just bad timing. You know what I'm saying? And Caitlin pushed her, and then her teammate came to her. Push you. Hey, man.
She hit her.
Do you guys think that all of this kind of drama, whatever, is good for the WNBA?
I think, Babsy, it's been happening. It's just who it's happening to. Because it's always a camera on Caitlin.
There are more eyeballs
like
now.
It's,
Big picture, the answer 1,000% is yes.
I mean, look how many people are talking about the WNBA today because of that.
I mean, we're talking about it.
Yep. P.T. Barnum said, just spell my name right. It doesn't matter what you say.
Like it's
any attention is good. Any publicity is good publicity is what a lot of these people say.
It's happening all over the league. Like it's been happening. It's just, man, dude, the media coverage.
I just never noticed before because of that. Like I didn't pay that much attention to it, but I think it's entertaining as hell.
Did y'all see what she had to say post game when the reporters were asking about the drama? So this was post game. This is Caitlin and her coach talking about when getting asked about the incident on the court.
And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
Do you think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
Simple as that. Was that it?
That was it.
No, there's more. There's more.
Well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Let's
talk
seriously.
about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin, in particular?
We're going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
That's
pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again, in the second half?
That's how you do it.
She's... I mean, she's...
Yep.
She said,
she's out there.
I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about basketball.
Yeah.
And
that's what we're playing.
And that's a great answer. Like, if all the stuff you want to talk about, you're not behind the scenes, so you don't know. Just continue watching the game, and you'll start figuring things out. But for the game, it was a flagrant foul. It's simple. That was in the game of basketball. The officials called it. Let's move on. Do they get back in it? Absolutely. Does a guy, if he get hit with a pitch, does the team come out and respond and hit a guy with a pitch? Absolutely. What did the dude do? Dang, what team it was? I meant to send this to y'all.
Last night with the Padres and the Dodgers, when Padres Fernando Tatis got hit with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball, so they hit Shohei Ohtani in the leg with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
That's one, and there was another one that happened. The guy went and got the ball after getting hit and went and put it back in the pitcher's glove and patted him on the butt. Like, my bad. And when he got to first base, he looked at their dugout and was like, that first one was my bad. I accept that. You know what I mean? It's bad. It's sports, man.
Yeah, I love
it's sports. Like, let's get it on. Hell yeah.
Indiana beat Connecticut 88-71. Clark had 20 points and 6 assists, and Knocktrop said it was after Caitlin's fourth three-pointer that she put in her face.
That's when she started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, again. But she talked from the opening tip, though. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, this ain't, hey, man.
And I love it when people come back at her.
They're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Sports
the game.
is entertainment, man.
Come on now.
3HL 615-737-1045 if you want in. The Panthers take down the Oilers to win their second straight Stanley Cup. Florida won Game 6 over Edmonton 5-1. Sam Reinhart had 4 goals. So the play we were told was guaranteed over 6.5 goals. Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Justin Hawkins was wrong from the morning show.
Jayhawk.
Mm-hmm.
So because he was so confident, we both went under.
Yep.
And held on there at the end.
That's what we need to do.
And Florida money line. So can the Titans get more out of Pollard and Spears? I want to get into this. We meant to do this a couple of days ago and just never got there.
We're waiting on Babsy.
What's that?
We're waiting on Babsy.
Oh, by the way, Babsy got her IV done.
It's
out.
Congratulations.
Feel amazing. Back, baby.
I'm back, baby. So we'll talk about that. Also, Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tomorrow, 7:30 on ABC.
Oh, yeah.
City.
Oh, okay, see. No question.
What about the 6.5,
though? If Halliburton don't play, I would jump on it now. I would definitely jump on that now because
for those that don't know, he got an MRI on his calf.
Yeah. Yeah, he came out and said, Rick Carlisle said we'll do our run-through later on in the night, so we'll see how he responds 24 hours from there. But and Halliburton said, I'm going to listen to the doctors and the team, and I know I have some decisions that I have to make. So with that being said, I'm just saying, man, young guy, Achilles are popping left and right. Like, it ain't nothing to say yours couldn't, but I'm just saying, what you got to watch, Tatum just went down.
Yeah.
But you got a prime example when a calf strain was hurting. They told KD the same thing, and he chose, you know what, I'm going to go on out here and fight for my team. I know the magnitude. Might not never get back to the finals, but, dog.
That leads to something very serious, potentially.
Down by law.
You got a College World Series final as Coastal Carolina was trying to eliminate Louisville.
And eliminate they did. 11-3 the final score after 9 innings. 26 straight wins for Coastal Carolina heading into the national championship where they will either face LSU or Arkansas. That game is at 6 o'clock tonight. If Arkansas wins, they got to beat LSU again tomorrow.
Yep.
But if LSU wins, they're straight in the Natty playing Coastal.
Can the Titans get more out of Pollard and Spears? We'll talk about it next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
KellumStemCellInstitute.com is where you need to head to. When it comes to holistic stem cell therapy, it doesn't get any better than this, man. It's your body, your cells, your solution. They can not only harvest your body's stem cells, but also store them for future and continue use. These cells are your body's own healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. Stem cells attack inflammation in the body, and we all know autoimmune disorders derive from inflammation. So you're probably wondering, just like, what does it do when the stem cells come back in? Really, in layman terms, they wake up the other cells. Like, hey, y'all, hey, everybody, get up. We're supposed to be at school. Let's go fight autoimmune disorders. And then everybody gets up out of bed, go eat breakfast, and they go fight. That's what really happens. So that makes you understand it a little bit easier. 615-850-4415. That is the consultation number that you're going to call and get your consultation with Dr. Ethan Kellum. So get your cells up. It's time the cells to go to work, man. Everybody just lazy sitting around watching TV. Get over to KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. I know Ross is in there bobbing his head. Who's Lou? Who's Lou? You thought that was him, didn't you?
No, I just know that's my boy now. Me and Ross was talking during the break, man. This is my guy, man.
What were y'all talking about?
You had to be him.
Okay. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Desley, the executive producer of 3HLSF. I'm still amazed that Bert did a sports update during our show today.
I did one during the golf tournament.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We'll swap.
And so if you notice, he said, I'm Joseph Bonanno, when he's actually, in fact, Robert Walsh. But when I did his update, I said, I'm Robert Walsh, when, in fact, I am Joseph Bonanno.
Well, aren't y'all tricky?
Yeah. Thank you, Babs.
I don't know if people caught that, but that's what happened.
The look on your face when you said that, man. Well,
listen, we're stuck in this room back here all day.
Clearly,
let us have our
messing with
fun.
your head.
Let us have our fun.
Listen, I've had a ball watching Bert back there because it's funny when you can like look into a room and not hear anything, but watch him just gyrating all through the booth. That was something. I have no idea what was going on.
Gyrating. That's a big word.
And then I walk in and he's all like in some weird position. He said he was stretching.
He's doing push-ups type thing on the desk. Like diagonal elevated push-ups.
Bert is getting after it. Titans head coach Brian Callahan said this about running backs Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears, quote, I think in a perfect world, it's a healthier division of labor. I like really both of those players a lot. I think we can do a better job of managing that load so they both play a little more evenly. Pollard played in 16 of the 17 games. Spears missed 5 games. That's part of the production difference here. But Pollard with 260 carries, Spears with just 84. Now, Spears, they like getting involved in the pass game with him. Had 30 receptions in 12 games. Pollard 41 in 16 games. Combined, well, before I get to combined, Pollard 301 touches, 1,317 yards and 5 touchdowns. Spears 114 touches, 536 yards and 5 touchdowns. So combined, those two at the running back position, 415 touches from those two players. 1,853 yards and 10 touchdowns. That's between running the football and passing. Can they get more out of them?
I think you can get more out of them. I think a lot of that was work that they were doing on their own, things not being able to be disguised by play calls. So you got to think, man, if you got a line that's giving you the protection for the running yards that you're going to get, and you're not having to just say, man, we're going to run left every time and get good stuff. You can run both ways. That automatically turns into something better. Then,
I didn't even think about that part of it. That's a great point.
Then if you got a guy that can deliver the ball, not just to the running backs, but to other people, which makes those guys threats, which leaves what open? The underneath, where you can dip it out to the running back and let them get because remember, we saw last year early on in the season, they wanted to run screen passes a lot more than they could.
I think Callahan would love to get the running backs more involved in the pass game. They just couldn't with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph.
So that I think
Rudolph
that's going to add enough.
Down, but yeah,
but it's still at that time it's like you trying to plug a crater with a nerd. A little bit of nerd, like
oh my god,
it wasn't gonna work.
Like the candy,
not even a gummy nerd
no,
cluster,
like
just one single nerd.
Oh man, I love it when them nerds get stuck together.
That'd be pretty good.
You know?
Yeah, I'm a
you
nerd.
Get the big fat nerd.
Yeah, I'm the wild cherry and the grape and the strawberry. Them mine. I love them. But I think that automatically adds some stuff to them, man.
So the offense could look a little bit different.
People on special teams this year too.
Yeah.
I think that durability part will help.
The offense could look a little different simply by incorporating those guys a little differently.
Yep.
And we kept hearing going into the season that Callahan wanted to do that. Like, he wants to use the running backs in the pass game, not just screen passes, running routes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We saw it.
And not a lot of running backs can run routes.
We saw it,
but both of these guys can.
Imagine, just think back on this for a second. And this is for the listeners because we were doing this live on air. Coming out of our breaks for the first 4 games, we were watching the All-22. and we wasn't necessarily looking at the line. We were looking at receivers who were supposed to be blocking for a running back that was coming out, or running backs that was supposed to be able to hit a hole and wasn't able to. Like, we were watching. This is us analysts analyzing the game, and we're not in the room knowing what they're supposed to be running. But you can see this. Come on, man. If we can see this, imagine what the football players,
the football
can see.
minds.
It's. I mean, it's got to be it's got to be a lot more.
So,
gotta be a lot
I mean, I know, and Babs, you saw it firsthand, but like this quarterback at Miami loved to spread the ball around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see what that looks like, because I think they do, even though he's a rookie, I think they have a quarterback now that has a more varied skill set. Now, he may not have the arm talent that Will Levis has in terms of that deep ball or whatever. Doesn't matter.
You know something else too, though?
He's got moxie.
And with that right there, on top of that, I don't feel he's nervous about having to be married to one option.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to think Will Levis came into this thing the following year after having subbed in some, but coming into that last year with DeAndre Hopkins, the relationship they already had built, then trying to figure out how to build in with Calvin Ridley. Those were like, he was zeroed in. You know what I'm saying? So you come in with Cam, who is okay with saying, no, not right, I'm not coming to you right now. You know what I mean? And that bravado and all of that, like, just get back in the huddle.
That was a very real thing for Will Levis. He was trying to make people happy.
Yeah, you know,
it looked like.
And rightfully so. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when you can stand on your own, too, and this is where you come in and it's already set, hey, dog, I'm coming to you the next play, dog. Just be cool. I got you.
It'll get there.
I promise it's going to get there. That's believing in your consistency of your arm, too.
So this quarterback might fit that system a lot better.
That's and we're putting a lot on the shoulders.
We all think that, but maybe more of a matriculate the ball down the field kind of thing, as opposed to let's take 2 deep shots and punt.
Him walking to the line at the end of camp, and remember we heard 2 days before the end of camp, him coming up to the line and killing, and then checking into something else. That don't work unless what you said is happening. Him working the chains. Oh, we got him. They about to bite. Kill. And then you hit Calvin Ridley on the bone.
Yeah, and what you're describing is he saw blitz pre-snap, checked into a deep ball to Calvin Ridley and hit it.
That's it. We didn't hear about that last year.
I know we're a long way out. I'm so excited to see what this looks like.
You have to, because just like we saw, I remember hell yeah, I walked out there when Calvin Ridley first got there, because I missed the A.J. Brown era as somebody with a platform to talk about it. Right. I watched that as a fan.
Oh, you didn't start until A.J. Brown was gone?
Yeah. Oh. He was leaving when I came in.
That was right then.
It was right then. So the practices I got to go out there, from that point, I've never seen a wide receiver one up close outside of being able to go with Savage and Antonio Brown and all that. But seeing Calvin Ridley, I was like, whoa, we ain't had no wide receiver like this. This looked different. You know what I'm saying? So
it's funny. That's what Cosell said when he came to minicamp, and he was like, man, I was reminded how different Ridley is up close.
And we got the older version of D-Hop. That ain't no knock to him.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't out there working daily. Calvin Ridley was out there chopping it up, getting busy. So, and that speed, good God. That man's speed was gliding. It was like one of them gazelles. It's different watching a gazelle run or a cheetah run.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean, these fast animals. Like, his is gliding.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
What's the biggest thing you're concerned with Cam Ward, rookie year? Interceptions?
Yeah,
trying to fit balls into windows that you can't do in the NFL?
Well, number one, we haven't seen him in pads yet. You know, number two, in game situations where, lack of a better phrase, the bullets are live. You know what I mean? And flying. My guess is because of his demeanor and his personality, he will stay calm in those situations. So, I expect him to have a really big rookie season. I really do.
Blaine threw it out there yesterday.
3,400 yards, 24 touchdowns. I think he said 7 or 8.
He said 6 or 7 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a season.
And he kind of compared him mindset-wise to McNair. He played with McNair, obviously.
Yeah. What I'm not concerned with Babs
because he was talking about the it factor when he was talking about McNair and Cam Ward.
What I want to see is his bounce back.
Yeah. Like
After,
when something bad. See, I'm not concerned about that at all.
Yeah, you've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen him.
Yep.
You got a cheat code, Babs.
I got a cheat code because I saw him in the most adverse time of his season.
Yep.
In that moment.
Yeah, and you were coming off a concussion.
That too.
You fought through.
And you got hit in
and
the
I
head.
had staples in my head.
And you got hit in the head with a ball pregame.
Sure did. In the face.
Did you, Babs?
Yeah.
I thought you just got bonged in the head.
In the face?
No, it was right there.
Really?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Freaking
Our girl
punter.
went through it last season, man.
Cheer.
Yeah, freaking punter. That's all right. We're going to have a good season this year, Babs. Pain free.
I have not gotten hit by a ball in my 13 years of working college football.
And that was the time.
And why did it have to be a punter?
And the day after I got staples in my head, I get nailed in the face.
Did he punt the ball or was he throwing it? Like jacking around?
He punted the ball. It actually wasn't his fault. It was whoever was receiving.
She put
it bounced receiving. Yeah, it bounced off his arm and then hit me in the face.
It wasn't Restrepo, right?
No, of course not. Okay. Restrepo would never.
Just making sure he was there at that game.
It was Syracuse.
Oh, it was Syracuse team. Okay.
In the dome, man.
Candy B91 said Babs needs to wear a helmet. Boy, that'd be a sight. Babs in a helmet on the sideline.
Apparently, I do.
Yeah, just next time you go down to Syracuse, make sure you do a story about a helmet so you can have one on.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
That was a good one by Savage. Savage said with things that concern you. And I asked Blaine this going off the air yesterday. His is the fans. How realistic would they be?
The fans?
I'm with that.
How realistic will they be as far as expectations of Cam Ward?
Like if he makes a couple of mistakes, so they just dive off.
Or if they start off hot.
And then
just
Super
kind
Bowl.
of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
which could hey, listen,
it could easily happen.
That rookie wall is a real thing.
I'm
ask Latham.
Yeah.
Ask Skoronsky.
Yeah.
Now he also
Big Moan trying to start stuff.
He aimed blew up
for
in
you.
His body.
He aimed for you, Babs.
He probably did. Probably did.
More 3HL next. 104.5 The Zone.
Loan Pronto. Are you maxed out on credit cards? You're struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Get cash out now. Don't touch your low rate first mortgage. Don't have to get an appraisal. No waiting. No BS, none of that. It is the Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto, and it is amazing. One Loan Pronto client got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and then come their monthly expenses by $1,800 on top of it. What a turnaround! Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Your home equity is yours. You should use it. Get cash out, consolidate your debt. One easy, low monthly payment. Loan Pronto can help you do it. Call now to start it all out. 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com at 615-499-5780. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
What's happening? You know what time it is. You know this. Every time I come through, I got to let the people know what it's about. And that's my good people over at Bart Durham Injury Law. Ain't no playing no games. It ain't no playing no games. And you know how life can change in an instant. Car wreck can come through, throw everything off. Not even your fault. And maybe it is your fault. Who knows? But your job, your bills, your peace of mind, all of that goes, man. It's over. That's when you need the good friends over at Bart Durham Injury Law to slide through, come through, protect you. Marine veteran Blair Durham and his team have been fighting for folks in Tennessee for years, making sure insurance companies, they going to pay up No upfront costs. No waiting around. Just some real people making sure you get what you deserve. So if you've been injured, don't wait. Ain't no need sitting there on your hands trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Don't listen to Buck and say sit and spin. That's not what you do. You call BDIL, Bart Durham Injury Law, 615-242-9000. That's 615-242-9000. Here 24/7 and ready to fight for you.
Through HL 104.5 The Zone, Brent Doherty, Don Davenport.
Yes, I do.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay.
Did you hear us?
No.
Sorry, we're talking about
I can hear my
Slay needing to have his surgery so that we could go to SEC Media Days.
No, I couldn't hear you. My phone started playing music.
Oh, dang.
You know what started playing, Babs?
What?
Semi-Term Kind of Life by
my gosh, we live
Third
in
Eye Blind.
Matrix. Listen, don't listen to the lyrics of that song.
Well, there are radio edit lyrics that a lot of people haven't heard, but yeah, they talk about crystal meth in that song.
Which I never knew.
Yeah, he says, I took the bump that I was given, then I bumped again, and I bumped again. Anyway, me and Mike Buckner, our engineer, were talking about that song yesterday, and we were talking about 90s music, basically, but he mentioned that song. And so I go in a store yesterday before I go home. It was playing in the store.
Mm-hmm. Living in the Matrix.
Bab's convinced we're living in the Matrix. So I texted Buckner and I told him that, and I said, Babsy is convinced we live in the Matrix, and his response was, she's not wrong.
All right, so if the tech guy says we're living in a Matrix, it's definitely true, right?
Yes. He knows.
Like, if there's anyone who was going to say that, and if it was Buckner, then it's 100% true.
Yeah. Yep. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Been a fun day. We got IVs today.
Yes, we did.
That was good.
Should be feeling great.
I feel great, yeah.
Special thanks to our guys
Got
at
some B12.
medicalhousecalls.com. B12, did you get the Toradol put in yours?
No, that was just for you boys.
You got it too?
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, she said
it'll
it's
help your inflammation, is
inflammation,
what they
aches, and pains.
You got aches and pains, you?
My ankle hurts. I think it's because you were talking about your ankle hurting.
No,
mine
blue.
But you're white, so not like Slay.
So if his is blue, that mean you in trouble. You gonna cut yours off?
Did you hear about that yesterday, Don?
Your ankle's blue?
Yeah.
It can't be blue.
Yes, it can be.
And
That's
Slay,
I'm
what
trying
are
to
you?
tell And I'm black. So to see blue on a black guy, that lets you know where I'm at.
Huh.
Yeah, because that'd be super blue on me.
No, that's what you on your way. You going purple. I'm telling you, you out of here.
Like Babsy's dress?
A little darker. More like this box.
You got a lot of purple over there today, Don.
She does. She's so
my mic, my dress.
Headphones, blending right with it.
Her little recovery tape was kind of purplish, too. It had a little pink to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
It's like fuchsia.
You're rolling over there. 3HL bingo card. I wrote down one thing today.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's all I wrote down.
Oh, that ain't all you got, but this is just all you wrote down.
That's right. What the hell does an IV have to do with eating?
That was a good one.
That's Slay Dog.
That would be me.
I didn't even remember that.
I asked if he could eat an Uncrustable right after an IV.
Oh.
Like, yes? Man, they serve these. Do you know how, listen, let me tell you something. Do you know how important these are to the modern day athlete?
What,
Uncrustables?
Yeah. Babs,
Yeah.
what do they do at games? The games you go and call.
I have an Uncrustable waiting for me at halftime.
So
Every game.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like these right here are essential.
Yeah.
The
And they're
programs.
so easy.
Come on, dog.
Essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
No, they've got them in all the locker rooms for
I'm trying to tell you, like when COVID hit,
Yeah.
you know how they had the essentials?
Yeah. The essential list.
Yeah.
Uncrustables. However that makes sense with what I'm talking about. Just go with it.
Yeah, no. And when I worked XFL, I'm allowed to go in the locker rooms
Yeah.
at halftime and just hang out. And they always have every flavor of them spread out on the table.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
See, they used to have in locker rooms where you would make the sandwiches yourself. But hand to Dan, the Uncrustable, who make these?
Smuckers, right?
Should have known. See, Smuckers smart. Let me tell you why they smart. Because Smuckers was losing in the peanut butter and jelly game. Because Jif and Welch is great.
Yeah.
That's your go. That's your get down. That's your get down right there. So what they do to go and combat that is, they say, you know what? We'll make it for you.
So
we'll
what
cut
kind
the
of
middleman out.
Is that Jif peanut butter in there?
Oh, that's a good question, York.
Or is it Smucker's peanut
It's
butter?
gonna have to be. Yeah, it gotta be Smuckers, which ain't nobody really messing with. But since it's in here, I'm gonna rock with it since it's in here. But it ain't really nothing.
Gonna rock with you. Gator Mike next up on 3HL. Mike, what up?
Orville, Ohio.
What's going on? Happy belated Father's Day to my brethren, Ron Slay and Brent Doherty.
Oh, appreciate it, Gator Mike.
Did you like my meme I sent out? That was about right, wasn't it, Ron, for Father's Day and Mother's Day difference?
That was absolutely right. That was absolutely correct.
That was so classic.
Yeah.
Real quickly, too, you know those memes that go around, you always see that, if somebody looks at you the way that so-and-so looks at somebody. Don, I thought about this the other day talking about Zeph and his love for Liam Doyle. So it should say, find you somebody that loves you the way that Zeph loves Liam Doyle. That's what we need to make a new meme for that.
I love that. That is so true.
Future first-round pick, Liam Doyle.
Hey, make your own meme of that, Zeph.
Yeah.
He's our social media manager.
Well, this one's more for Zeph. Zeph, do you like Liam Doyle more or Zakai Ziegler? Who do you have more love for?
Listen, I was having this conversation with Slay a couple weeks ago. We weren't talking about these two players. We were talking about like all-time players and at their respective sport. And I was like,
you saw play.
Yeah, that you saw play. And I was thinking about basketball. I was like, oh, Dalton Connect. That 1 year Dalton Connect had was just incredible. But Zakai Ziegler, what he did over 4 years, the time frame he was there and what he did in those 4 years just beats almost anything out of the water. So Zakai Ziegler.
I got you. What about for football then?
Football. Who did I? Oh, I had Juwan Jennings.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Hendon Hooker season was pretty good.
It was.
I was thinking either a little Josh Dobbs or Hendon Hooker would probably be the betting favorite, but I was wrong on that. And real quickly, Don,
Not necessarily.
I think I told you all a while back, do not, Ron, you got to try this too. Do not sleep on, get you the strawberry milkshake Pop-Tart, put it in the freezer, and just eat it right out of the freezer.
See, here's the
I'm
problem with
Frozen?
that. Here's the problem with that.
Oh, dude, it is life-changing.
Here's the problem with that, Gator Mike. Slay has never had a Pop-Tart.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I'm going to have to put some on ice and bring them into the studio for a taste test. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than the cookies and cream, the hot fudge sundae, or the strawberry milkshake frozen.
I like it.
Dude, just frosted cherry. You're making it too hard.
All right, take care.
See you guys, Mike.
I'm out of here.
Brown sugar cinnamon.
Thank you, Zeph. That's what I ate today.
That's what Babsy likes.
Yep.
I'm out of here. I ain't got time to play with y'all. If y'all ain't going to listen.
What did I say they were going to do? Pop-Tart ice cream? Is that what I said?
It's only Walmart. Select Walmarts. It is a Pop-Tart ice cream sandwich.
That's it.
There's
Kirby made one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Kirby made a homemade one. There's brown sugar cinnamon, fudge, and
Kirby Alex
strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the three flavors.
All right. Well, we're off tomorrow.
Y'all are on tomorrow.
You'll still hear us, at least an hour of us.
That's very true.
What we got?
What did I pull? The Derek Lewis interview.
The what?
Okay.
The Derek Lewis interview.
For tomorrow?
Oh, that's phenomenal, that dude. Hell yeah.
Easton Freeze puts a bow on minicamp.
Okay.
I like that.
And our conversation with Taylor Zarzer from yesterday.
Okay. Very good, Zeph.
I wasn't here for that.
Maybe you should have been.
No, maybe you should have picked something else.
Are you gonna? Fine. I'll just go, redo it.
Fine.
Stay here later. I don't need to go home.
All right, back at it on Friday. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. We do appreciate you including us in your day and in your lives. Again, have a great night. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Shout out to all the staff over there at J. Alexander's on White Bridge Road. Salute to y'all, man. And Aaron at the tavern at the Village. Salute to you too, Aaron. And happy Juneteenth, people. Celebrate. Pop something. Do something.
Pop something.